Arkansas State University, Three Rivers, Malvern, Highway 270 Grill in Poen, the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, Midtown Plumbing, and Baptist Health.
He'll bring Elston in motion, hand it off to him on the jet sweep, and he's off to the races. Out past the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Patriots.
Tonight's game features the Rison Wildcats and the Fordyce Redbugs. Now let's go live to the stadium and join Josh Neighbors and Kyle Sutherland.
A very good evening from Paul Bear Bryant Stadium and Redbug Field here in Fordyce, Arkansas. It's a battle atop the 3A8 between Fordyce and Rison. 8-0, both those teams. Somebody's O has got to go here. I'm Josh Neighbors. Alongside me, it is Kyle Sutherland. Got a really exciting matchup here for you tonight on the Birch Tree Community's High School Football Game of the Week across the Buzz Radio Networks. Before we get going tonight, I want to mention something. Sad week in the entire state of Arkansas, especially for our high school football community. Greenwood lost 3 of their family this week, including star wide receiver Isaiah Arrington in a house fire, and as well as his sister, his mother as well. So, Kyle, it's a really tragic situation for everybody involved, and we mourn for them, and just a terrible loss for that community and for all of us here.
Absolutely, and our hearts continue to go out to them. And other than a few Twitter messages exchanged, I didn't know Isaiah terribly well, but just as much as we cover these kids, Josh, you hate to see these types of things, and I know that they're definitely going to be playing for their fallen teammate in Greenwood tonight.
Yep. So if you can tonight, take a second, think of them, think of the folks in Greenwood, think of the family as well, the football family that is mourning right now. So with that, we'll get to tonight's action. Fordyce and Rison, a game that's been played every single year for the last 50 years, 50-plus years, and nothing more meaningful than 2-8-0 teams, Kyle, tonight.
That's right. Everything on the line right here before the playoffs, too. And that's one thing that I was talking with some of the Fordyce coaches about the other day is really this type of game could not come at a better time, just a playoff-type atmosphere. And the amount of times that these two teams have played, this is the 73rd meeting. It started back in 1952. That all-time series belongs to the home team, Fordyce Redbugs, 39, 28, and 5. Of course, Fordyce also in their 100th year of playing football. So crowd's continuing to file in. I think this one's going to live up to the billing.
Yeah, Dustin Sanders, one of our wonderful sales folks from the Buzz, is a Fordyce native, and he said, hey, on Friday night there will be more people in that stadium than the population of the town. I mean, yeah, it's basically capacity crowd on both sides, and it has been, Kyle, I mean, for at least the last hour or so.
We rolled in just after 5 o'clock, about 10 minutes after, and the gates opened at 5, and that's when they started filling in. So it's a good thing that we got in. So we obviously had a spot for us, but didn't have to fight the crowds too much.
All right, so the Rison Bulldogs, we'll begin with them tonight. They come into this game at 8-0. They've scored 295 points this season. They've only allowed 86. Their head coach, Chris Vereen, is in his first season there after coming over from Star City. He's a third coach at Rison in as many seasons, but his first one has been a fantastic. I know there's questions about how is their non-conference schedule, but once again, Kyle, 8-0 is 8-0, and for them, it's really about running the football.
Rison had that great run under Fordyce native Clay Toddy for that 25 years that he was there. Last year, Caleb Carmichael was here, and this team started off 0-7, finished 3-8, so they won their last 3 games and made the playoffs. So Chris Vereen felt like he had some strong pieces for this year's team, but I don't know that even possibly the folks in Rison expected them to have this great of a start.
Off to a fantastic start, and as we mentioned, their bread and butter, they run that football pretty well. For them, they've only thrown 27 times this season and really have not needed to throw the ball at all. They've been efficient on the ground. A variety of guys who have scored 8+ touchdowns, at least 4 of them on the team this year. That's what they look for, try to control the pace of this game against Fordyce.
That's right. They're going to go with the 3 running backs usually that starts with sophomore Christian Reeves. Then they'll go typically with Chandler Reeves, his brother, the senior, and also Keyshawn Haywood. Really just been a definition of a 3-headed monster running back. You look at their stats and they're pretty close. Of course, Christian Reeves leading the way with 819 yards and 15 scores.
And you look at that, once again, only 86 points allowed, so just over 10 points per game allowed for them. A big part of that run game helps that out too. We're going to control the clock as much as they have been able to. It's been huge. They beat Lakeside last game 42-12 So, I mean, they got to be feeling pretty good, even though some, I would say, they're the underdog tonight.
That's exactly right. And we're going to, you look at just the run-heavy offenses trying to keep the ball away from these, especially an offense like Fordyce that we'll go into here in just a second. So that's going to be one of the key things is can they continue to just get 3-4 in there? I know they'd like to get more, but 3-4 yards a pop and just keep that ball moving and keep moving the chains.
Birch Tree Communities, if you have a friend, a client, a loved one who have been diagnosed with schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, please contact their admissions department or go to birchtree.org for more information. All right, we'll step aside here. When we come back, we will preview those Fordyce Redbugs. You're listening to the Birch Tree Communities High School Football Game of the Week on the Buzz Radio Networks.
Hello, I'm Renata Jenkins-Bowler, the third generation of Roller Funeral Homes. In the heart of Arkansas, where compassion meets excellence, my family's legacy has stood the test of time. When you turn to Roller Funeral Homes, you are not just relying on a service, you are embracing a cherished family tradition. For the past 24 consecutive years, you have chosen Roller Funeral Homes as the best of the best, and we are truly humbled and thankful. Roller Funeral Homes, where compassion meets excellence with all our respect.
Highway 270 Grill in Poen is a proud sponsor of the Buzz High School Game of the Week. At Highway 270 Grill, you'll find fresh food that's cooked and smoked on location. With an ever-evolving menu, they work to make sure they have the newest and most delicious food with the most affordable price. Newly renovated with more seating and upgraded equipment that allows them to serve even better quality food in a timely manner. Check out their daily specials or their steak nights every Friday and Saturday. Family-owned and operated, Highway 270 Grill in Poen.
Arkansans have trusted the expert surgical teams at Baptist Health for more than a century. And through the years, we've excelled at surgery that puts the patient first. Heart surgery, orthopedic surgery, neurosurgery, breast cancer surgery, and any surgical challenge you face. At Baptist Health, we put all our effort into perfecting one very particular type of surgery, yours. Learn more at baptist-health.com. Baptist Health, for you, for life.
Arkansas State University, 3 Rivers.
Want to go to college but don't know the first thing to do? Check out Arkansas State University 3 Rivers. They'll help you relieve that fear and show you how easy enrolling in college can be. Visit asutr.edu and apply online today. Scholarships available for ACT 19 and higher.
Arkansas State University.
Back here at Paul Bear Bryant Stadium and Redbud Field here in Fordyce, Arkansas. Birch Tree Communities High School Football Game of the Week on the Buzz Radio Networks. I am Josh Neighbors. Alongside me, Kyle Sutherland. It's Fordyce and Rison tonight, and now we'll talk about those Fordyce Redbugs. An 8-0 start for them, and we talk a lot about offense, but Kyle, it's pretty simple. This is a lights-out defense.
Absolutely. That's one thing that you've known about Fordyce throughout the years was just the way that they play defense, and this year is no exception. They only allow 7.8 points per game, but you got to think about that too, Josh. The reserves get put in because they've been up by so much in so many of these games. So really, I think when you look at their starters, you're talking about 5-6 points that they're allowing a game.
I think we're getting the second rendition of the national anthem as the clock is at 6:41 and counting for head coach Timothy Rogers. He's been here for a long time. You know, he's had a lot of success, back-to-back state championships in 2019 and 2020, and about as good of a chance as anybody of winning that 3A state championship this year, once again with how good that defense has played. But the offense for them, too, is really good. They beat Dumas 48-0 last week, and for them, wouldn't call him a novelty because he's been so good, but Cadillac at quarterback for them has been fantastic. Andrell Ellison, the freshman, who looks as big as any player on the rest of the team, but 65% completion percentage, which is fantastic for a freshman. Over 1,500 yards passing, 17 touchdowns on the season, in the air, 5 on the ground. Really does bring that variety for them, and just a much different look with him barreling down at you, but also pretty good passer as well.
That's right. He's got a lot of great talent around. When you think about Brent Sledge, think about Jamartez Stroud, you think about Micah Gamble, and just the list goes on and on and on. But if you watch him, the way that he plays, like you mentioned, he can really throw it. He can run over people. When they brought him to media days back in July, we had 64 teams, featured hundreds of players. He was the only freshman. I almost had to ask Coach Rogers for a birth certificate because I didn't believe he was 14 years old. But he is really just a kid that, as we say, built different, and he has proven that.
So they'll come out you that varied attack. They can mix it up, but you said they will run some of that option look in the red zone a whole lot tonight.
They're going to run the typical four wide spread, but they'll line up in the wing tee. You'll see the I formation, and you'll see the read options, the quick screen passes. But big thing, too, we talked about with many of the teams that we have covered this year, so many of them have those skill players that you can just dump off on a screen or just a short pass, and they do the rest. I think that you could see a good bit of that tonight. Of course, the Rison defense wants to say something about that, too.
All right, some of the festivities are wrapping up. We are less than 5 minutes away from kickoff here on the Birch Tree Communities High School Football Game of the Week. Once again, presented by Birch Tree Communities. I'm Josh Neighbors. Kyle Sutherland will step aside, give you some keys to the game when we come back here on the Buzz Radio Network.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
Interested in a rewarding career in behavioral health? Birch Tree Communities has entry-level career opportunities for behavioral health providers, starting at $18 an hour, with additional pay for education and experience. All the training and certification you need to succeed will be provided. Find more information and apply at birchtree.org, birchtree.org. Join the Birch Tree Communities team today. Apply online at birchtree.org.
The love of football defines fall weekends, and in many homes, our families. But it's a demanding sport that can cause injury. That's why UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is on sidelines and in locker rooms for high schools and colleges across the state, ready to care for athletes with clinics in Central and Northwest Arkansas. UAMS Health, official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for Razorback Athletics and future Razorbacks all over Arkansas. Learn more at uams.health/team.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor-on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
The fine art of armchair quarterbacking.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock.
Arkansans have voted Roller Funeral Homes the best of the best for 25 consecutive years in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette readership poll. Generations of families have recognized the Roller difference and know when they call on Roller, they will receive all their respect. I want to thank Roller Funeral Homes for sponsoring much of our high school sports, including the high school football game of the week here on the Buzz Radio Networks. I'm Josh Neighbors. Alongside me, it is Kyle Sutherland. Also want to thank Damon Poole back in the studio. And folks usually don't hear me, Kyle. I am doing play-by-play tonight because RJ and his wife are enjoying a Laney Wilson concert tonight, so we hope they have a great time. We're glad to be here, though, with you for a 3-8 clash between two 8-0 teams. It's Fordyce and Rison as the coin flip is happening right now. Near side here, Fordyce is in the black uniforms with white numbers, black pants with a white stripe down the side. Also, they've got the white helmets on with the red F. And for Rison, on the far side from our broadcast position here at Paul Bear Bryant Stadium, they are in white uniforms with gold letters and numbers, which don't love the gold on white, but I digress. Gold helmets as well, black pants for them. So both teams retreat to their sides of the field to enter with 1:10 and counting left. Kyle, keys to the game tonight for each squad.
Look at this Fordyce defense. They've scored 8 touchdowns, so their defense has scored at least 1 touchdown per game throughout this season. And they've got 49 tackles for loss. Now they've also got 25 sacks and 17 interceptions. Rison likely won't have to worry about that with their offense, but their offense is going to have to make sure that they really utilize those 3 backs that we talked about, because they're going to need to keep the ball out of this Fordyce offense's hands. Coach Perrine talked about how his guys have played really unselfish, disciplined football this year. So I think that's really going to be the key is can this Rison offense keep it going and play mistake-free football.
So Rison enters from our right side. They had a large inflatable black helmet, which they came out of with what's a pretty nice smoke show there as well. They have the red smoke going up in the helmet, and then here comes Rison to our left. They're kind of almost getting the home entrance with all their fans out in the field line. I typically don't see that on the road with the road fans be able to welcome their team, but both teams take their sides of the field. Perfect temperature tonight. We are in the high 60s. It is pretty humid. But,
this is one of the better nights we've had.
Fantastic.
Of course, you would hope so by November.
Yes, you would hope so. This is but you know what? It's fantastic. It's not too cold yet because I know for one thing, the War Memorial Games, the state championships, they will be cold. One more game left for us this season. We'll have Conway and Bryant next week. So high school football season, it's crazy.
Well, we'll also have the first round of the playoffs as well because we were off last. So we've got this week the first round of the playoffs, which that's of course remains to be seen, and then we've got the state championship game. So we'll get some postseason action outside of the state title.
One more scheduled game.
That's right.
That we know the two teams playing. So Fordyce will be kicking off from right to left across your radio dial. That means Rison will be working from left to right. Got it in the tee here, Paul Bear Bryant Stadium. Ready to go. Fordyce has it on the tee at the 40. Fantastic crowd on hand tonight for the game. Once again, you also can watch the game on the 103.7 The Buzz Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on X/Twitter.
I still have yet to try Twitch.
Once again, it's a streaming platform.
Yeah.
But I guess as much exposure as possible.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's going to be kicked away. Fielded at the 19-yard line. It's muffed and now picked up. Working left. Rison's got it. That was pick up and a slam there at the 28-yard line.
What a way to start this, and props to the refs for letting them play, man.
Yeah. Looks like that was Jeremiah Marshall on the return. He got near the 30 and got picked up and kind of half suplexed before the crowd of Fordyce players got to him. So they'll begin to operate from the 29-yard line. Offense that has been efficient this year. As Kyson Walker, the sophomore, under center. It's an option look. Motion a man in the backfield. And we've already got a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag. It's going to be a false start. So maybe a little bit of the nerves for Rison on the road.
We got to work those out on the road. As we talked about, this is as much of a playoff atmosphere that these two teams have seen this year.
So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 24-yard line of Rison. 11:51 to go as we get things underway. And Kyle, with option offense, it's always important to keep things on schedule.
That's right.
So one wide receiver stretched to the right side. It's Spencer Towery. Walker's in the shotgun. He's got three backs in the formation. One comes left to right. It's going to be a straight dive at the middle. Nothing going right there. Great job with some penetration up front. Looked like it was Chauncey Robinson, the senior, who made the play.
Chauncey Robinson and A.J. Hines also in on that. Those two guys plug in the middle for the Red Bugs.
So now it'll be 2nd down and 14. They're going to say he got one almost to the 30-yard line, not quite. There as the play comes in. One wide receiver stretched to the left side now. It's going to be two backs, one to the left, one behind, and then one deep. Give left side. Nice run here up to the 35-yard line, excuse me. That was a strong carry there by Chandler Reeves. One of two brothers in this offense, and those two Reeves brothers have been efficient this year running the football.
That's right. Chandler Reeves, the senior, 37 carries, 486 yards, and 8 scores coming in tonight.
So nice job from Rison to go from 1st and 15 now 3rd and 5. See what they can do here from their own 34-yard line. One wide receiver split wide to the left, one back to the right, one to the left, one to the middle. Hand off now to the left side again. Reeves has got it, makes a nice cut. It looks like he's going to be just short. The ball popped out of the end, but they're going to say that Reeves was down, so I think it's going to be about 4th and a yard. No. Yep, so they'll have about 4th and 1 coming up here, if that. And the referees are calling for a stoppage. I think they're going to want to get a measurement here, but they did a good job mixing up where the runs were headed there. Reeves gets the carry and makes this a 4th and manageable, even though they're in their own territory.
That was a good job by that left side of the offensive line, opening up a hole there. The free safety, Brent Sledge, came up a little bit, and he was able to hit him at the knees and get him down.
The band does not stop playing since the game began, and the referees signal a first down. So at 10:29 to go, the chains will move. And now Rison will operate from just before the 34-yard line. They're on the far left hash. As Walker will come out under center. Once again, that one wide receiver look. Standard wishbone look with the two backs off of the right and left, one in the middle. It's going to be a give to the left side. It's snuffed out. Excellent penetration. It looked like it was Vincent Stroud, the junior, who came back there and made the play. And he's seeing that swarming Redbugs defense early.
That's right, Vincent Stroud, 13 sacks on the year, which I know that wasn't a sack, but 8 tackles for loss, 48 total on the year. It's been a key part of this defense for the last couple of years for the Redbugs.
So, a lot of runs between tackle and guard so far. It's an I formation with one back to the left. Another give up the middle. Big space right here. Could he go? He might. It's a foot race all the way down to the 10-yard line. And a huge carry for Chandler Reeves right up the gut. And the offensive line cleared some space. He found a hole. It looked like he might have hit Pater. Luckily, Fordyce able to track him down now inside the 15-yard line. But a huge gain and Rison to the red zone.
They're riding their senior leader early. He just really darted through that hole and got past the second line there of defense and took off.
So the first chunk play we've seen hit tonight goes to the Rison Bulldogs. Now one wide receiver to the right side. Normal formation with the three backs. Man comes in motion. It's going to be a give straight up the middle. Not much room there. Let's see who had the carry there.
It was Hayden Lewis, fullback.
And part of it too, sometimes just give it to the guy right at the middle. They use so much window dressing in these offenses. Now second down and 8. 8:48 to go. No score here. Rison in those white uniforms working left to right. It's a keeper for Walker. He reads it well. He's at the 5. Touchdown! Kyson Walker takes it himself, his first carry of the game, and it's 6 for the Bulldogs.
That was a perfect option read there. Walker, he pulled it from the fullback, he read the linebacker, just went around the right side for the score.
That's execution right there, and so much of that option offense, Kyle, is decision-making. He made the right call there, a great read, found some space and hit the hole.
And really just this Rison offense doing exactly what it had to do. We talked about our keys to the game. They got a couple of 3-4 yard plays to get that first down, then they got the big chunk play and put it in the end zone.
Started with a penalty on this drive, but found Pater in the end. Extra point is up, and that one is good. So with 8:39 to go in the first quarter, Rison 7, Fordyce 0. Step aside here. It's the Birch Tree Communities High School Football Game of the Week on the Buzz Radio Networks.
When a patient rings the bell after completing cancer treatment, we celebrate one more step toward healing. And with the new UAMS Baptist Health Cancer Center, we celebrate the trusted choice in cancer care. The two greatest healthcare forces in Arkansas have come together to deliver second-to-none treatments with the latest technology, all in celebration of you. Learn more at baptist-healthcancercenter.com. Baptist Health, for you, for life.
Looking for a restaurant that supports other Arkansas-owned businesses? Highway 270 Grill in Poen serves Petit Jean bacon, ham, and sausage, delicious fried pickles from Arkansas-owned Flywheel Pies, and all their smoked meat is smoked on location using Arkansas-owned Woody's Barbecue Rub. Also, try their hand-cut ribeyes, prime rib, and double-dip pork chops. With the new renovation, Highway 270 Grill now seats over 85 people, so this is your location for the entire family. Family-owned and operated, Highway 270 Grill in Poen.
Fordyce has not filled often this year, but they do here against Rison. Big rivalry game here at Paul Bear Bryant Stadium as Rison will kick it off. A little bit of a pooch kick. That one's going to be fielded at the 45-yard line by Fordyce. So great field position to start off for the Redbugs as they trail 7-0. And now we'll get our first look at Andrell Cadillac Ellison. Where's number 13? He is just a freshman, but boy, there's a man amongst boys out there for a young man who's about 15, 16 years old.
One of the big, I'd say probably about the second biggest player on the field, maybe the first right now, bigger than plenty of the defensive and offensive linemen. Well, I do want to go back real quick to that kick.
Yeah.
That's one thing we got to look for tonight. Some onside, some skies. They might do some trickery there on the kickoffs, possibly will rise.
And if you get one of those, able to keep possession of the ball, milk some more clock. 8:35 to go from their own 45. I formation, give it to the right side. And it's snuffed out immediately. It was a host of Rison Bulldogs where it looked like it's Jaquez Rawls who got in on the stop. But that was a good team effort, team tackling right there.
The handoff went to Martez Stroud, and the Rison defense was waiting for him right as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage. They actually pushed him back about a half yard.
Stroud 7 touchdowns on the season, each part of this run game. 2nd down and 10. I formation, one wide receiver to the left. It's a give, outside the tackle, a huge shimmy shake. It's Gamble going to the outside, he's got the edge, and he's out of bounds at the Rison 45-yard line. That play looked like it was dead to rights, Kyle, but a shimmy shake from Gamble gets the first down yardage.
He's looking for that right side again, and Rison had it completely covered up. But that's the thing, if you don't get these shoestring tackles, if you just try to get them with one hand, that's not going to cut it. There's just way too much speed for this Fordyce offense.
It was a great play design right there. Got a one-on-one matchup for Gamble. He took advantage of that. He's nearing 600 yards on this season. Is the sophomore. So now it's 1st and 10 from Rison 45. Straight handoff and a big hole right here. Going to the outside, it's Brenton Sledge, and he's dragged down out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Picked up a great block from one of the other running backs, Martez Stroud. Good job there by the left side of the offensive line for Fordyce there as well. Tayshawn Childs and Tashombe Ledbetter to open up that hole.
It was Keyshawn Haywood who made the stop for Rison. And that's another first down. They're inside the 30 now, working right to left across your radio dial. And it's been all I formation. We've yet to see a pass so far in this game. 26 passing touchdowns, 17 rushing for Fordyce this year. Give his right side. Great job of getting there and making the stop. It was James Jacobs who got to the outside and made sure that was a short gain, if any. Josh Neighbors, Kyle Sutherland here with you. It's live from Fordyce, Arkansas at Paul Bear Bryant Stadium. Big rivalry game. Two of these teams 8-0 on the year. Tied for first place in the 3A8. Two more games, counting this one, left in the regular season. 2nd down and 9, 7:07 and counting. Good to go. Two backs in the backfield. Give is now left side. Working there left. It's Turner. And he's going to get maybe 2 yards, and he's slung down. A few violent tackles so far in this game. That was Spencer Towery. Nope. It was Aiden Raw, who got there and made the stop. There have been a couple half suplexes, some slinging tackles, Kyle. It's a pretty physical game so far.
Oh, there was no doubt that was going to happen. And we, as you said, we've seen a lot of the I formation. That time we saw the single wing. We'll see those in their run formations, yet we have yet to see the 4 wide.
So they'll come back out in the I formation this time. Back on the tight end left side. Man in motion is Gamble. Snap is taken. It's a toss to the outside. Working there is Sledge. It's a flea flicker. He finds his man. That's Jamartez Stroud, but we do have a Midtown holding penalty flag. So it was a toss play to the outside. Looked like he was trying to read the hole. On the far right side, there was Jamartez Stroud who got past the defender, and then Sledge threw him a touchdown.
I think they're going to get the right tackle for holding, or either that or a block in the back. I might have missed the blocking.
Oh, we got a false start. Typically, you don't see the play develop all the way.
Yeah, that was a little late on the flag. I thought they might have just got a holding there on the right side as he was running around before he let the pass go.
Maybe they meant illegal formation or something. I don't know why you wouldn't blow that play dead on a false start, but it's good play design, but execution not there. That's one of those you like to have back because you can't run that one too often, right?
Yeah.
So you like to, when you use that one, you like to execute on it, and they did, but not all the way. So now it's 3rd down and 13 with 6:12 remaining in the first quarter. Rison's got it. Fordyce has it on the Rison 33-yard line. Ellison back to pass. He's rolling to his left. He throws it downfield, and he throws it basically into no man's land. He was pressured. Good job from Eli Turner of getting back there and applying the pressure. Now it's 4th down and long.
A huge stop there for this Rison defense. They had that penalty on the very first play. They were able to overcome that and then drive it down the field for the long score. And that was just an incredible play there by the Wildcats just to be able to hold them there on that 3rd and long.
Good coverage there as well. All the way downfield. Good pressure applied. First passing attempt of the day. Ellison now back in the gun. 4th down and long. He steps in the pocket. He's looking to run. He's got plenty of space, and it's tough to bring that man down as he scoots for a 1st down. He's down right now, rolling over in pain, so Ellison picks up the 1st down, but they're going to need to attend to him. And he's slow to his feet. He's getting back up right now, but he took a couple shots, but he stepped up in that pocket, and he knew he was rolling.
As I mentioned at the beginning of the drive, how he's one of the biggest guys out there on the field. A little shaken up, but looks like he is okay. But imagine being not just a high school defensive lineman, but a high school secondary player, and that guy is running at you right there. He's just looking, didn't see anything, and tucked it and ran.
They're going to have to probably use a timeout here, and they will use one because Ellison was slow to get up. The play clock as well kept on rolling. So with 5:36 to go in the first quarter, Rison leads 7-0. A huge 4th down pickup from the freshman quarterback, Cadillac Ellison. And now it's 1st down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Man, the instincts there, didn't see what he liked and had to get by a couple guys. Incredibly nimble and agile, but they did make him pay there at the end of that run.
That was one of the things the Fordyce coaches had talked about, was just that he has performed this season, but just hasn't seen a team, at least as far as just all that is on the line for this game. That was kind of one of the questions of how would his mindset be for this one, and talk about just a great presence of mind there on 4th and long. He saw something, and he was able to get the 1st down.
So far, in terms of decision-making and stature, does not appear to be a freshman, right? And so he's taking a second right now on the near sideline. I want to thank the folks at Highway 270 Grill in Poen. Bring the whole family there. There's something for everybody. I was upset I had to miss that dining experience. How was it?
It was fantastic. Incredible. I will be back.
I'll have to go. It's going to happen eventually. I want to thank the folks at Highway 270 Grill for sponsoring the high school football game of the week on the Buzz Radio Network. So,
sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I highly recommend the brisket bites. Start your meal off with that. And I got the double-dip pork chop. I had to be careful because I didn't want to. I got the light
load
meal.
Up.
Yeah, I just didn't want to load up before a game.
Bring to you right here. Give now left side. Looks like it's going to be Gamble. Nope. It's Sledge. Trying to spin move basically up against the tackle to back to the inside, but the Fordyce front 7 was having none of it. Or the Rison front 7 was having none of it.
Went out of, I think it was the wing tee right there. I actually just got a glimpse right as we had looked down, but went out of the wing tee, had 2 blockers there on the left side, but credit to this Rison defense, man. They're just not fooled by much.
All right, so 2 long drives by both these teams to start the game. It was a 70-plus yard drive for Rison that ended in a touchdown. This drive, a bit shorter than that, started at their own 45-yard line now on the 16. 2nd down and 11. Ellison's got it. He's going to go up the middle, trying to work his way forward, but a really good low tackle. Not malicious and low anyway, but a really nice low tackle. That's kind of the way you have to go about tackling. Aiden Lewis did a good job there.
Yeah, it's just how do you get this guy down? You certainly, if you hit him up top, he's gonna definitely fall forward pretty much every time. So you got to take those legs out, like you said. I mean, within the rules of the game, but they couldn't have done it much more perfect.
Over 300 rushing yards on the season for Ellison. 5 rushing touchdowns. It's now 3rd down 10. He's in the shotgun. He gives a snap left side. It's a rush to the outside. Cutting towards the corner. Does he have the end zone? No, he does not. But he does have the 1st down. It's Micah Gamble who was able to spring free on that left side. We have to do a bit of a lean here in the press box to see it, but Gamble knocked out at the 4-yard line, they're going to say. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 4. Nice execution there by the offensive line and the wide receiver did a great job.
Yeah, Zay Jones that was down the field blocking. Or I'm sorry, that was Keelan Ellison, number 9.
So now it's 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. 4:15 remaining. Bucks not running at this point. He's been out of bounds. So I formation. tight end to the right side. Give now. A nice cut back to the inside. A touchdown from Brenton Sledge. He drops the hammer there, and we're a PAT away from being tied.
Great read there by Brent Sledge. He was very patient, just read his blocks, cut it up, and then went in and got his 10th rushing touchdown of the year. He averages over 5 yards a carry.
So Brenton Sledge, the first Redbug to hit double figures in terms of rushing touchdowns on the season. As we mentioned, touchdown number 10 right there. And there's a variety of guys on that drive. Gamble, Sledge, Ellison, all involved in the run game. And so it'll be a 2-point conversion try here. Wing T formation, man in motion from right to left. Ellison takes it. It's going to be one of those modified thick plays, and it works. Micah Gamble catches it. Good job by Jamartez Shroud, who looked like he had it inside. Cleared the space on the left side for Gamble, who's able to find it.
And that is something, too, that we saw Rison. They kicked extra points. That's not something that really Coach Tim Rogers has done in the past. He had Andy Luna the last couple of years, but this year they go for 2 every time.
So with 4:09 remaining in the first quarter, Fordyce takes their first lead of the game. It's 8-7 in favor of the Redbugs. 2 possessions, 1 by each team, 2 touchdowns, 1 by each team. And now set to kick off from the 40-yard line. It is Daniel Warner. He'll step into it and boots this one. It's a pretty good kick distance-wise. It's going to bounce at the 15-yard line. It's picked up now. And now working back and met by a host of Redbugs is the Rison return man at the 23-yard line. Didn't see who it was. It was Christian Reeves. Part of that Reeves collective they've got.
Yeah, got a little bit of help. Fordyce got some help as Reeves picked up the ball and ran into his teammate a little bit there, which caused a little bit of stoppage, and it gave the Fordyce defenders plenty of time to congregate and take him down.
Christian Reeves has had a great season, 15 touchdowns, approaching 1,000 yards on the year. As the band continues to play, it'll be Rison. First down and 10 from the 22-yard line. 78 yards for them to find the end zone. It's that option. Look, it's going to be a keep by Walker. He's trying to navigate his way to the outside, but he's met and dragged down for a loss of 3. Micah Gamble.
Great read there by Micah Gamble. Carson Walker, as we saw on that touchdown run that he had from about 12 yards out, he's got some speed and was trying to get that edge there. Gamble wasn't having any of it.
It was a pretty good read, just a better play by Gamble. Had that covered up. And so now it'll be 2nd down and 11. So 1 wide receiver to the right side. There's 3 running backs. High formation with a tight end on there. Now give to the left side. That one's gobbled up. And it was
A.J. Hines.
A.J. Hines makes the stop. Got it. 3rd down and long now. So this is where we've seen them now. This is off schedule, right? This is where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
3rd and 7. Not too bad, but still.
This is where Fordyce, there's the train, the infamous train that comes through during game time, as you hear. But this is where Fordyce wants Rison exactly that they were not able to get them last time.
Well, 3rd and long, you have to deal with the crowd, the train, the bands. Back to pass. Deep shot downfield. It's a wobbler, and it's going to be caught. A hospital ball from Rison is hauled in, and that, I think, was Chandler Reeves.
That was Chandler Reeves, man. He's having a whale of a game so far. He broke that long 40, 45-yard run earlier, and take Carson Walker, he felt the pressure coming. He just threw it up. It looked like Brent Sledge was going to come down with the interception, but man, what an incredible catch by Reeves. Really just a great awareness there.
Well, it's knowing where one of your better skill players is, let him go up there and make a play, and that was about as 50-50 as it gets.
Yeah.
But hospital ball works out there. High formation now. And also a tight end offset to the left side. It's going to be a straight kick. Now it's a fumble. Ball is down. It's picked up by Fordyce. A muff exchange, and that was Tayshawn Childs, who just saw it, dove on it, and a Terrible, terrible turnover for Rison.
And talking about playing clean football, Rison's done it most often this year, but you cannot make those kind of mistakes against this team at Fordyce. They will make you pay.
So with 2:07 remaining in the first quarter, the 1-point lead, Fordyce gives up a big play and then gets the ball right back. They'll have the ball just a yard short of midfield at their own 49. Had good field position so far today for a short kick on the first after the first touchdown. And now the turnover here. Flag down on the play as the screen play to the left side. Not much room to operate there for Jamarcus Crawford. He's pushed out of bounds, so good defensive play. It was Jarquez Rawls who made the stop. A false start there. It's odd. They've called 2 false starts but let the play continue.
Yeah, I don't see that very often. That's kind of what I thought it might have been with how quick they threw it. But like you said, right, Josh, normally they'll call it because, usually on plays like that, it's a hold or a block in the back. But when they threw that as soon as the ball was snapped.
Second offensive penalty in this game for Fordyce. That backs them up. It's 1st and 15 now from their own 44-yard line. First quarter, 2:02 to play, 8-7 our score. Josh Neighbors alongside me, Kyle Sutherland. Damon Poole back in studio as it's the 3rd Street Community High School football game of the week. So now they're going to mark the ball back at the 49-yard line. I guess they picked up the flag?
Guess so.
So that makes a lot of sense. And we're going to play. 2 wide receivers to each side. It's a muff snap. Ellison's going to run forward. Looked like he almost tried to hand the ball off to Gamble while he was running towards the line. But he picks up a few yards. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, just bobbled it there. Took about a second off the play at least. But when you're that big and you just go up to the line of scrimmage and fall forward, you're typically going to get about 4 or 5 yards. And then you got a 5-yard gain on that one, or 4.
He looked back at Gamble when he was running by him, which was odd. I don't know what he was.
I think it might have been a run to him, and then he just had no choice, but made something out of nothing.
So we got a penalty, then they didn't mark it off, and now after a quick gain, it's 3rd and 6. Ellison reads the play. He's got it right side now, but he's going to be met in the backfield, and a whole host of Rison players have him. No, they don't. Ellison's loose on the outside, and he runs a whole lot of real estate just to get about 3 or 4 yards, but he is a load to bring down.
That reminds you of Arkansas KJ Jefferson, of course, not UCF KJ Jefferson, but with what he did, what was that against Ole Miss or whoever the team was last year? They had him, Alabama had him absolutely dead to rights. Did they have Ellison? He broke out of it and again turned something or nothing into something, and it's a 4th and short.
So 47 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. 8-7 Fordyce leads Rison. It's 4th down and 3 from the 44-yard line. Man jump, but Rison player gets back on sides, and the offensive line couldn't take advantage because they were all looking at the sideline. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second on the play clock, and penalty flags fly in. It's going to be a delay of game.
A lot of confusion there. It looked like assistant Anthony Sosi was trying to signal the play in. They weren't exactly sure what they were going to call.
We're trying to draw them off sides, maybe, Kyle?
Could have been, but it looked. I think they were trying to, because I was looking at, see the coach down there with the tape on his fingers. Looked like he was trying to signal it, or that could have been just to throw them off as well. But either way, they were not prepared for it.
Interesting choice. It was 4th down and 3 from the opponent's territory, from the 43, and it just didn't feel like there was too much urgency there. But they'll line up in a punch formation now, Will Fordyce, in 4th and 8. It's back, and punt is up. It's a wobbler, and that one's going to bounce out at the 33-yard line about it. 19.6 to go. So all things considered, that's a win for Rison.
Absolutely, especially the fact that you kept them off the board after you had given the ball right back to them. So this Rison defense, I know they've given up a touchdown, but overall just playing really well.
So just under 20 seconds to play. Rison trails by 1 here in the first quarter. They've got the ball at the 31-yard line. In the I formation, working left to right. It's a straight give right into the teeth of the defense. Not a whole lot going on there. And it's going to be 2nd and long when we come back as the clock is winding down here. Our score, it is Fordyce 8, Rison 7. You're listening to the Bird Street Community's high school football game of the week on the Buzz Radio Networks.
Entergy works for the moments you live for. The joy. Touchdown! The heart.
Here's your boy.
the wonder.
And if we do this, our robot should...
At Entergy, we're dedicated to powering each moment, today and for future generations. We're leading the way with a cleaner, more reliable grid to power every day. Because these moments matter.
Your graduating class.
We power life. Entergy.
Midtown Plumbing services over 1 million square feet of commercial property in Little Rock. And they've also provided plumbing needs to thousands of residential clients all over Central Arkansas. Along with residential and commercial plumbing, Midtown also provides water heater sales, sewer repair, remodeling services, and 24-hour emergency plumbing. Midtown Plumbing, just a phone call away. 501-426-5900. MidtownMechanicalServices.com.
Josh Neighbors, Kyle Sutherland back here with you in Fordyce, Arkansas. It's the First Street Communities High School Football Game of the Week on the Buzz Radio Network. Second quarter about to get underway. Rison trails Fordyce 8-7. And Rison was on the move last quarter. They fumbled, able to force a punt, so they've got it right now. 2nd and 8 on their own 33-yard line as a man goes in motion. Give is straight up the middle. A nice carry. 3 tacklers with him. I think that was Laws on the carry. Not able to see the number there. Yep, it was Aiden Laws. Was able to get a nice chunky yardage, make it 3rd and 2.
Aiden Laws, the fullback that's mostly responsible for blocking, and for that good blocking that he does, he gets rewarded getting the ball sometimes. And I know Coach Vereen, he'll take plays like that all night long.
Yep, the 2nd and long situation sets up a 3rd and short. Just what the option offense wants. It's offset I formation here, one tight end and a wide receiver. Now give us the right side, it's Reeves. Reeves bounced to the outside. He's got some space. He works his way across the 45-yard line down to about the 47, and that's going to be a first down carry for the Bulldogs.
Chandler Reeves wants another first down, just keeps making plays. Seems like every time he touches the football, he's getting some sort of big game, first down. Playing really well in this first half.
So Rison's offense has been able to control the pace of the game so far. I thought that would be a key for them, and has been, picking up first downs early and often. Under 11 minutes to play here in the first half. It's a wishbone formation. No wide receivers in on this one. It's going to be a pitch to the outside. Looks like it's Reeves again. He runs straight ahead. Tackler overrated him on that one, and he's able to pick up a nice 7-yard gain.
I won't have the number of that offense. Number 51, which unfortunately is not listed here. He threw that great block to Springer. I'm sorry, 61. Dedrick Wells.
Dedrick Wells.
Yeah, the gold on white was throwing me off a little bit.
Throwing me off all game.
Yeah, a little bit there. And on that counter play, he was able to spring him free a little bit for a couple extra yards.
So it's 2nd down and short. Wing T formation. One wide receiver in the formation. Reeves goes in motion. It's a give. To go no. Kyson Walker keeps it, and he is buried in the backfield. That's Tyrell Harris, the sophomore for the TFL, and it's going to be 3rd and about 4 here. Called a or a long 3 rather. Under 10 minutes to play.
Tyrell Harris, one of the key reserves in this Fordyce defense. That's you don't have a lot of times the luxury where you can go 2 and 3 deep, but Fordyce has the depth to go 2 deep and get plenty of effectiveness out of it.
So now it's going to be 3rd and short. Methodical is that Rison offense playing keep away right now, letting that clock tick down 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Got to snap it here. It's going to be a give to the right side. Reeves has got it again. He's got some room. He cuts it back to the inside. They can't seem to bring him down. A Midtown Plumbing penalty flag is down as Reeves crosses the 25-yard line. So a pickup of about 23 as it stands, but we'll see if this one comes back.
It's going to come back, and that really hurts Rison right there because they really could not have executed that play much better. Blocked it perfectly, and of course we know what the running back did.
So that penalty flag looked like it happened around the 30-yard line. So it's going to be a holding penalty that sets it back to the Fordyce 37. Still a pickup, first down pickup nonetheless. Some great moves. And very patient runner is Reeves. He's got that burst, but he knows he can pick up that extra yardage by just being patient, find the right cuts to make and making them. So ball's in the 38-yard line as we hit 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Rison trails by 1 as they operate right to left across your radio dial. Reeves gets the pitch going right to left in the backfield. He picks up about 4 or 5 yards there, so a nice first down gain. A lot of the same concepts, a lot of the same plays, right? Toss plays.
Well, that's the thing too. If they get 4 yards in these types of offenses, you get 4 yards of play. That's gonna run it perfectly, essentially, just because you're killing time off the clock, keeping it out of Cadillac Ellison's hands.
So now 25 to go. And it's going to be a run to the right side. He's got a crease, crosses the 25-yard line. It's a first down run for Keyshawn Haywood.
Right now, the Rison offensive line, they're just whipping up on that defensive line of Fordyce, really just firing off the ball and kind of catching them off guard. It seems like really by the time Fordyce knows what's going on, that whoever has the ball is at the second level.
So positive gains for Laws, for Reeves, for Haywood, and another first down as we are under 8 minutes to play now. Triple option look here, one wide receiver. It's going to be a motion look. It's going to be a pitch play to the outside. A more pure option, and picking up about 4 or 5 yards once again is Haywood. So
that's a good play by Nate Bryant there for Fordyce. He was getting blocked, and he was one that was waiting on Walker to possibly run into him. Right as soon as he came up to Walker, Walker pitched it, but he was still able to make the play.
That's one big key going up against this offense, right, is shedding those blocks, getting out to the space and making those tackles. Sometimes shedding those blocks and being patient, waiting to make a tackle because you have to make that read. So 2nd down and 5 here. And, man, they are good about letting that play clock get down inside of 5 each time. I think more teams do employ that. It's down to 1, it's down to 0, and they are going to throw a flag. We'll see if the timeout was gotten by Chris Vereen, and it was not, so it's actually a delay of game. So that 5-yard scamper they got to get to 2nd and 5 is wiped out, essentially. They're going to pick that flag up, actually. They're going to say Chris Vereen got a timeout, so we'll take one as well. 7:06 to go here in the first half. 8-7 our score as Fordyce leads Rison. The Birch Tree Communities Game of the Week. The Buzz Radio Networks.
Birch Tree Communities is a behavioral health provider caring for adults living with severe mental illness and a supportive home environment. The staff serves as a guide to members on their journey to independence and a satisfying life in the community. If you have a client, friend, or loved one diagnosed with schizophrenia, schizoaffective, or bipolar disorder and in need of care, please go to birchtree.org, birchtree.org for more information, or call Birch Tree Communities today.
We're all getting ready for that big game this Friday night. Clothes are laid out, cars are decorated, and the menu is picked. Your hometown teams have prepared, practiced, and are now ready to put their best on display for you. I'm Renata Jenkins-Byler with Roller Funeral Homes. When you choose the Roller Funeral Home in your hometown, you can be assured, like your team, we will be ready to put our best on display for you. Roller Funeral Homes is a proud supporter of Arkansas High School athletics.
All right, so back to action here, 7:06 to go. 2nd and 5 from the Fordyce 16-yard line for Rison. It's a give to the right side. Reeves has got it. He's working now up the middle. Hits a plethora of Fordyce defenders, but not after picking up 5 or 6 yards. The ball pops out, but well after the whistle blows. And it looks like it might be enough for a first down. If not, it's pretty close. We're going to get a measurement, I think. Referee's calling for a timeout, so he'll bring the sticks over and take a look. Right now, what do they call the guy who holds up the down and distance?
The chain gang?
Well, the gang as a whole. The marker man, what it's called. The marker man has it about a couple feet short of the line. We'll get the official measurement here. And they're going to say it's going to be 3rd down, so 3rd and short, the marker man.
Didn't have to quite get the credit card out, but it was close.
But that's how this offense works, Kyle. Right now, 2 chances, 3rd and 4th down to get that little bit of real estate. So it's going to be 3rd down and 1 from the 11-yard line of Fordyce.
Maybe dig into the Nick Sirianni bag and do a tush push.
You could here, or you could let Aiden Laws take it up the middle.
Why not?
So it's a wishbone set here. And you called it. They didn't have to push him very much, but we're going to get some Midtown Plumbing penalty flags, and it's a false start. That is a killer.
Yeah.
A little too eager there.
Where it was, that's certainly Rison's game, and now it's back to Fordyce type game, because now, of course, the one pass that Fordyce has attempted, it worked out pretty well. It was much longer and was more of a prayer, but we'll see if they maybe go with some trickery here on the ground or possibly do go back to the air for the second time.
6:30 to go in counting in the second quarter. Now it's 3rd down and 6. Men in motion, it's Reeves. Walker's got it. He hands it now. It's a counter back to the left. A good carry. He's absolutely thumped in the middle. That's Brendan Simmons, who met, looks like it was Christopher Reeves.
Brendan Simmons, the team's leading tackle. He's actually, I know he's a 3-year starter, might actually be a 4-year starter, but comes in tonight, 61 tackles, 12 for loss.
Christian Reeves on that carry there. And right back to where they were a second ago. A timeout is now called, and they're going to measure once again, it looks like. Game of inches. 3rd measurement we've had tonight. And I will say, so far, Kyle, they've done a really good job, the Rison Bulldogs have, of any time they get a penalty, picking up that yardage on the next play. And it's going to be 4th down and short. So, says a yard in the scoreboard. Look over at the chain gang, it's a lot less than that. About, call it, half a foot. See what they do here. Triple option look. Walker was going to pick it up last time they snuck it. We'll see what they do again here. He is going to sneak. He's going to on that right side.
Yeah, I think he was maybe trying to go up the middle, but just took it to the right a little bit there. And the Fordyce, for the most part, Fordyce got a decent push, but Rison just got a little bit better one.
Good work on that offensive line to that right side for Rison. And now 5:25 and counting. The Bulldogs are the only team to have the ball in this quarter. I formation, give us the right side. Reeves gets stuffed. It was Brendan Simmons who came up and made the tackle. I want to thank Midtown Plumbing. They offer leak detection services. Tired of being placed on a wait list while your bill skyrockets? Call Midtown today at 501-426-5900. Second down and goal from the 6-yard line. Under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Rison trails by 1. Knocking on the door, though. It's a counter look. Now cuts it back to the inside. Reeves, goal line, touchdown.
End around play that they've run a couple of different times tonight to that right wing back. Was that, which I know that was probably one of the Reeves brothers, or was that Haywood? I can't see the number.
I think it was, I want to say, a Reeves.
It was one of them. I just can't see the number from here.
And that would be of the Chandler variety, I think. Hard to tell you. I think it was Chandler Reeves who found the end zone. Hard to tell once again with those numbers. The gold numbers on the white unis, black pants and gold helmets for Rison. It's now 13-8 our score. 2-point conversion look here. Man goes in motion. It's a toss play to the right side. This time it's going to be Christian Reeves. And he dives for the end zone. He's got it. So a 2-point conversion picked up there by Christian Reeves. And so now our score with 4:42 to go in the first half. Rison 15, Fordyce 8. That was a drive.
Yeah, it sure was. They have really done, especially those 2 touchdown drives, both pretty long, well over 60 yards. I know at least the first one was. And some of the 2, so Fordyce is going to get the ball back here. You have a feeling they're going to run it a good bit. That's what they've been doing for the majority of the game. They also do get the football back at halftime, so that's probably something that's factored into their play calling as well, trying to burn as much time as they can off of here because obviously Rison, run-heavy team.
That drive took all what we've had here in the second quarter. That drive began in the first, and we've only got 4:42 remaining. So great job there. And the longest play on that drive, Kyle, was part of it was taken back by a penalty. So, I mean, that was a methodical effort that involved fourth down conversions. And so Rison, a great spot here on the road. 2 of their drives and for touchdowns, 1. They fumbled, and that's to be a short kick. It's going to be fielded by Jamartez Stroud, who rumbles into the Rison sideline. He's pushed out around the 40-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. So again, I'm Josh Neighbors. Alongside me, Kyle Sutherland. Back in the studio, it is Damon Poole on a Football Friday on the Buzz Radio Networks. You're listening to the Birch Street Community's high school football game of the week. Beautiful November night. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, Damon lets me know. Wildcats, not Bulldogs. Been saying Bulldogs the whole game. Wildcat. Well, we've been talking about Greenwood a good bit tonight. So that's why. Yep.
Sorry about that, listeners.
So now Ellison's got it. Throws it to the right side. It's caught on the move now. It's Jamartez Stroud. He operates to the 50-yard line, and he goes past that. He'll get in now to Rison territory. And so that's a first down. Good pickup there on a swing pass.
Yeah, they haven't seen. Of course, I figured that we would see more passes at this point by Fordyce. Hasn't really had to, but the film that I watched this week, most of it was them going out of 4 wide, as we see right here, and probably expect to see that on the rest of this drive with time ticking down.
So now it's a give to the inside. Looks like it's going to be Gamble. It is. And he's met by a host of tacklers, including Eli Turner for the Wildcats. Under 4 minutes to play now. Fordyce trails by 7. So now it's 2nd down and 8. 3:40 and counting here. Give to the left side. Gamble makes a cut to the outside, but he's met and driven way out of bounds. It's Braylon Bennett who comes up and makes the stop. Looked like Gamble might have had some space, but unable to bounce it outside because of the speed of Braylon Bennett.
Great, just a sideline player right there. Read it perfectly and came up and made that play.
So 3:01 and counting here as Cadillac Ellison takes his time. Fordyce and Rison both 8-0. Battle undefeateds here. The penultimate week of the regular season. Ellison rolls to his right. Throws downfield. That one is just too long for his receiver, Jamartez Stroud, as it falls incomplete.
Dangerous throw right there, but luckily it was over everybody's head and really uncatchable. Had a couple of guys downfield, but Rison covered it good. It looks like, who is that? Is it? I think that is number 9.
That's Keyshawn
Haywood. Who's in the coverage. He's got his right ankle spatted, though that white tape that you see on a lot of football players, and it looks like he's favoring that, limping a little bit.
So we've got a 4th down and 11. 2:47 to go. The Fordyce offense sputtering right now as they trail by 7. Trying to get these guys into the game. A lot of communication issues. 1 second on the play clock. They try to call timeout. It looks like they'll get a flag flies in. A Midtown plumbing penalty flag flies in. But they're going to say the timeout was called. And so, with 2:47 to go in this first half, the home team down by 7, trying to find their footing. And a lot of frustration over there right now from Kalen Ellison.
Ellison was back there to punt and was the one that called. I think Coach Rogers was telling him to call the timeout. They were talking just a second ago. So some more confusion. We've seen that a couple of times on the last couple of drives there for Fordyce. Just a little bit of confusion there on exactly what they're trying to do.
So I think that's the second timeout taken in the half by Fordyce. They've got 1 remaining. Ball is at the 50-yard line. Rison looks like they forced another punt here. Fordyce will be punting from left to right across the radio dial. Those black uniforms, black pants, white stripe down the side, white numbers, white helmets with the red bug on top of it. Ellison holds it, punts it. This one, a much better punt. Nobody back to return it as it bounces inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And so with 2:35 to go, I guess we'll get to see what the 2-minute version of the option looks like.
That's the question here. Do you just run your offense? Because they've done well, obviously, with just over 2:35 left in the half. It's going to be tough to think of, you don't want to chew off too much time because you don't have that time to chew. But are you content with just taking this lead with the way that your defense has been playing?
Oh, you also have to think Fordyce gets the ball
to
start the second half. So I say this first set of downs is crucial here, Kyle, right?
Absolutely.
It kind of dictates what you're going to do. Pick up that first down, all right, and you start rolling here a bit. It's going to be an normal option look here. 3 backs. Man comes in motion. It's Reeves. It's an inside give to Laws, and he's met right up the middle. Good job from that front for Fordyce. Variety of players in on that stop. Main man in the middle, it was Aiden Kelly. It was Cordell Robinson, the sophomore, in on the stop. Also in the middle, A.J. Hines, who physically, I walked by him before the game. He is a strapping young gentleman. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Rison leads by 7. Give now inside of the middle. Reeves has got it, and another great job of the Fordyce defense. Probably don't have to worry about taking that timeout. You still got plenty of time, and you don't want to stop the clock, give up a first down to Rison if you are Fordyce.
It appears, unless they just do something out of character here, they're just content with running this thing down and going into halftime. And honestly, I'm fine with it too. Not that I'm the one making the decisions by any means, but just with how well your defense has played in this first half, I think this is a smart decision.
3rd down and 9. Man goes in motion. It's going to be a delayed handoff went across the way. Nobody was fooled. Chiefly amongst the unfooled, it was A.J. Hines. He's had a couple TFLs, and now it's 4th down and 11. And so this is where the timeout comes in. Fordyce takes their 3rd and final timeout of the first half. So with 1:08 to play, they trail by 7. Ball is on the Rison 11-yard line. So should be pretty good field position here with around a minute to play, Kyle.
And that's we talked about it in the pregame. Cadillac Ellison, he's more than just a bruising runner and really just a game manager. He can throw the football. So depending on where this punt goes, I don't know what kind. We haven't seen Rison punt tonight, so I'm not exactly sure. What the distance is, the average range, but Fordyce definitely has plenty of time probably because they're going to get it with about a minute left or so, and still got plenty of time to put something on the board.
Yep, it's tough, too, for a freshman quarterback, Ellison, to get in rhythm when ball's basically being kept away from you most of the time here. But defense, it's the first 3 and out we've seen forced by Fordyce. So another crack at it here. Should be at least another crack at it here for the Redbugs. Back to punt. It was a high snap. Really good punt. It's going to be fielded around the 50. It takes a weird hop on Stroud, but he's able to cut upfield. He's at the 35, bounces outside of the 34, and a touchdown-saving tackle, but there is a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag. A great effort by the limping Keyshawn Haywood at the 34, right where the flag is. The ball is going to be spotted at the 31-yard line of Rison. So we'll see what the penalty brings here. It's going to be a block in the back, and that was a late one, Kyle. There was no need for that block in the back.
Yeah, of course, when you're trying to spring your guy free and the time is just continuing to go down, I think just a hustle play right there that's costing them a few yards.
So now the ball will be spotted at the 44-yard line of the Rison Wildcats. Ellison takes it, throws it right side. It's a screen pass to Stroud. A flag comes into the play. A Midtown Plumbing penalty flag is in. The stop is made by Braylon Bennett.
I think I saw a little face mask grabbing.
If so, there'd be massive getting. That's what Jamartez Stroud is saying. Personal foul face mask is the penalty. And looks like Kyson Walker is the guilty party here.
And remember, Redbugs, they don't kick field goals. They're going to go for the touchdown.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Screen pass left side. Bouncing to the outside is Jamarcus Crawford, but a great tackle on the edge by Aiden Laws. Holds it to just a 2-yard gain. Clock runs 35 seconds and counting.
Great job there to keep him in bounds by Rison.
Clock's at 30. No timeouts left. 25. Ellison rolls to his right on 2nd down and 8. Goes across the middle. Got a man. It's caught. Touchdown on the run. Cadillac Ellison finds his man in the end zone. And that's Kalen Ellison who hauls it in for 6.
Ellison just coming over on the post route. A little bit high, but he was able to go up and get it. Fantastic play there. We saw the arm of Cadillac.
And Cadillac on the run. He was able to put that big frame behind that throw, and he threw a rocket across the middle. And a great move by the other Ellison in the seam. Beats his man, locates the football, tracks it in, and now it's 15-14. So 2-point conversion attempt coming here. This will dictate who takes that lead into the half. Fordyce will get the ball coming out of the halftime break. High formation, 1 to the left. Ellison. He gets away. And now the clock runs out, and it's going to be another delay of game. And Coach Rogers a bit incredulous about what's happening here. So now more substitutions happening. There seems to be some confusion about who was supposed to be in the game. That's caused them to set up pretty late.
Yeah, I think that's about the 3rd time in this quarter. Definitely this half, maybe this quarter alone.
Well, and now the play clock is under 5-4, and they can't get the play in. Ellison 2-1. He gets the snap off, but there's probably going to be a false start. Not everybody was set. So Fordyce with no timeouts takes back-to-back delay of game penalties on a 2-point conversion attempt.
And really, Josh, that's the first thing that Coach Rogers and his staff really had to clean up at halftime is just on that last punt. You have the same problem with the delay of games. Right now, they're struggling to figure out exactly what they're going to do, and now they're running this 2-point conversion from the 14-yard line.
Redbugs have it. Ellison is a free rusher. Throws a floater. That one's picked up. No, it's caught! It's caught! It's tipped and caught by Micah Gamble, who finds the end zone. And so what could have been 2 points the other way ends up as 2 points for Fordyce.
That was, what was it? I think
I couldn't tell. It was outside.
It was a Rison defender. And that just shows right there, don't stop until the whistle blows. It was a good defensive play. Thought he had it batted down, but really just batted into the air. And then Gamble just picks it out of the air and does the rest. Great heads-up play.
I think it was once again, it's tough to tell those numbers because Chandler Reeves is number 32. His brother Christian is number 22. And it was one of the Reeves who, knowing their speed, Kyle, was definitely thinking pay dirt the other way. But you got to make the catch first, and heads-up play by Gamble by receiving the tip and being able to locate the football and find his way to the end zone. So after all that, Rison's played a great first half.
Now we're back at a 0, or I was going to say 0-0 game.
1-0 game.
Yeah, 1-0.
So this kick is away. It's going to drive Reeves back. He drops it at the 15-yard line. He starts rumbling. He's got a little bit of space, but he's down at the 31-yard line. And so 13.8 seconds left to go. So the Wildcats, as I'm being reminded here on our streams, and if you'd like to watch, you guys can find that on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and X/Twitter. So thanks, folks, for commenting there. We'll do the best we can with the camera while we are calling the action as well. 13.8 seconds to go. Rison's got the ball on their own 31-yard line. A knee is going to be taken by Kyson Walker, and that will take us to the half. So we're at halftime of our Birch Tree Communities high school football game of the week between Rison and Fordyce. Our score, Fordyce Redbugs 16, Rison Wildcats 15. Turn back, halftime report coming your way next here on the Buzz Radio Networks.
The fine art of armchair quarterbacking.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
103.7 The Buzz, KABZ, Little Rock.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
Highway 270 Grill in Poen is a proud sponsor of the Buzz High School Game of the Week. At Highway 270 Grill, you'll find fresh food that's cooked and smoked on location. With an ever-evolving menu, they work to make sure they have the newest and most delicious food with the most affordable price. Newly renovated with more seating and upgraded equipment that allows them to serve even better quality food in a timely manner. Check out their daily specials or their steak nights every Friday and Saturday. Family owned and operated, Highway 270 Grill in Poen.
Arkansas State University, 3 Rivers.
You want to stay at home and take college classes? Visit Arkansas State University 3 Rivers at asutr.edu and enroll in online classes toward a certificate or degree. So keep your PJs on and go to asutr.edu. Scholarships available for ACT 19 and higher.
Arkansas State University, 3 Rivers, 3 Rivers.
This month at Gwatney Chevrolet, you could be eligible to make no payments for 90 days. That's right, qualified buyers don't pay on new purchases at Gwatney Chevrolet until 2025. If you're in the market for a new Chevy car, truck, or SUV, now is the perfect time to buy. It could be yours with no payments until next year. Want to find out if you qualify? Give Gwatney Chevrolet a call at 501-982-2102 or come see us at 1301 TB White Drive in Jacksonville. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Back at Paul Bear Bryant Stadium, where the Fordyce Redbugs currently lead the Rison Wildcats 16-15, and we've got a special guest on the halftime show tonight, the man, the myth, the legend, and also the owner of Hooten's Arkansas Football, Thomas Thrash. Thomas, glad to have you down here. We got a lot of media down here tonight.
Everybody's down here.
Yeah,
it's big games draw the big crowds, and I see everybody, Channel 7, 11, Fearless, everybody.
Yeah, everybody's down. We all got a chance to catch up before the game, and this has kind of been exactly what we thought for the most part as far as being a close game. The Rison defense really playing well. I know that they've given up 2 touchdowns, including that most recent one with about 20 seconds left.
Yeah,
what a 2-point conversion!
What a 2-point conversion! Hey, so my favorite thing is there's in the end zone. It's packed. If you can't see it, it's standing room only, and they got a rope in the end zone where you're 3 feet from the action. They got some Rison fans sitting next to some Fordyce fans talking some friendly trash talking, and when that happened, the tip ball, it was hilarious.
Yeah, man, it's just playing to the whistle. Like I said, it wasn't a bad defensive play.
No,
you just think that you're going to bat it down and really accidentally bat it into the air, and so
it's not going to be the final score. So
no. And of course, Fordyce does get the ball back with a 1-point lead here. We'll go on and catch you up on some first half scores, courtesy of the Hooten's Arkansas Football First Security Bank scoreboard. Starting in Class 7A, Cabot up over Little Rock Central 24-7. Conway leading Little Rock Christian 21-3. Pulaski Academy, the alma mater of one Thomas Thrash, 26-6 over Little Rock Southwest. Bryant 35-7 over North Little Rock. Also, Fayetteville, the defending 7A champions, 27-0 over Rogers Heritage.
And I think it's now 35.
30,
I just got a text.
Okay, so that one is updated 35-0. So the sportsmanship rule will likely be enforced in the second half there.
42-7.
Okay, so it definitely will.
42-0.
And then Rogers 35-6 over Springdale Harbor, and then Bentonville currently up on Springdale 14-0.
That's a closer game than I thought.
Yeah, it is. Bentonville has been really. You knew that 0-3 start was certainly a morose, especially with who they played. That's the.
Oh, I know.
I mean, Jody Grant teams. How many times have we seen that they might have a little bit of a slow start, especially when you lost all that you lost last year? So it wasn't really shot. I didn't necessarily see them going 0-3, but they've won 5 straight now. And
but they're
really
playing two. So they played Conway and then 2 out-of-state teams that both won state championships in Missouri and Oklahoma. I think.
Yeah, so they're always going to challenge tough, no doubt about that. Then heading on down to Class 6A, Benton 21-0 over West Memphis. Jonesboro.
It's a little closer than I thought.
Yeah. Well, I think we've seen with these Benton offenses that they typically, especially if they don't do a whole lot in the first half, which 21-0 is nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah.
But they usually hit Drew Davis. That offense, they really heat up typically.
Second half.
Yeah.
They're a big
second half team, no question. Jonesboro 14-7 over El Dorado. How about this one? Marion and Catholic 7-3 locked in a tight one.
Yeah. So our guys headed that way. He went to the Benton game first, and then he's headed to War Memorial to watch Marion.
Pulling that double duty, and then Sheridan and Sylvan Hills with a playoff spot on the line here. Sheridan 14-13 in a tight one. Greenwood playing with heavy hearts tonight, 49-7 over Fort Smith Southside. Mountain Home, those Bombers, after a huge 36-0 victory on the road over Lake Hamilton last week, they currently lead the Van Buren Pointers 20-7. Russellville 14-8 over Siloam Springs, and then Shiloh Christian and Lake Hamilton.
I saw it was
deadlocked
7-7
at 14.
Yeah.
So of course
Lake Hamilton's a good team though.
Lake Hamilton is a really good team. Last year they lost their quarterback midway through the season, and really, of course, you never want to see injuries, especially season-ending ones, but if there's any consolation of that, Landon West being able to come in and get those reps at quarterback. Of course, Tommy Gillard, he's known for the wing tee, but he'll line up in the shotgun too and throw it around a little bit.
And they're just a physical team, and they're going to be tough out in the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt. And they typically always are. I mean, last year, like I said, it was a little bit of not a common season for them. And before we go to a break, I want to go ahead and acknowledge, Thomas, these people walking out on the field right now, these are the first responders that were on scene during the tragic shooting at Fordyce back in June that claimed the lives of 4 and injured 11 others. So you hear the clapping, and rightfully so. We were so thankful for our first responders, especially this one, those brave, these men and women out here that were so brave that day. So while they're doing that, we're going to hit our first break, and we'll come back with some more scores and analysis. You are listening to the High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Birch Street Communities on the Buzz Radio Network.
Interested in a rewarding career in behavioral health? Birch Tree Communities has entry-level career opportunities for behavioral health providers, starting at $18 an hour, with additional pay for education and experience. All the training and certification you need to succeed will be provided. Find more information and apply at birchtree.org, birchtree.org. Join the Birch Tree Communities team today. Apply online at birchtree.org.
Arkansans have trusted the expert surgical teams at Baptist Health for more than a century. And through the years, we've excelled at surgery that puts the patient first. Heart surgery, orthopedic surgery, neurosurgery, breast cancer surgery, and any surgical challenge you face. At Baptist Health, we put all our effort into perfecting one very particular type of surgery, yours. Learn more at baptist-health.com. Baptist Health, for you, for life.
Since 2019, Arkansas casinos have generated more than $60 million for our roads. But if Issue 2 passes, you may need a new suspension. That's because Issue 2 would reduce the number of casinos in Arkansas, meaning fewer tax dollars for our state highways, roads, and bridges, costing us tens of millions in road funding and giving us all a bumpier ride. Issue 2. It's bad for our roads. Protect our roads. Vote no on November 5th.
Paid for by investing in Arkansas.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bellins Ford in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor-on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bellins Ford, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
Back here at Paul Bear Bryant Field, where the Fordyce Redbugs lead the Rison Wildcats 16-14. Kyle Sutherland, also Thomas Thrash of Hootens, Arkansas football joining us, and we'll go through some 5A scores here. Robinson, Joe T. Robinson, 14-0 over Pine Bluff. Maumelle and Searcy in a tight one, 7-3. BB 28-0 over Watson Chapel. Brooklyn shutting out Paragould 14-0. Greene County Tech being shut out by Batesville 10-0. And how about this one, Thomas? We checked this to make sure that this score was up to date. At halftime, it is Valley View 14, Nettleton 7. Now, Valley View has been, I would say, certainly the surprise. We knew that they were going to be pretty good again, maybe not
but losing their three-time All-State quarterback and then Drew Gartman coming in.
An All-State receiver going over to quarterback.
He's legit.
Yeah.
And so I think they're a really, really good team. But I say struggling. There's 14-7 at half.
Yeah, and then also, Harding Academy and Wynn, which, Harding Academy and Wynn, they're fighting for that 2-3 spot there.
Yes, they are.
So Harding Academy, I know that
they don't want to play Camden Fairview.
No. Well, and you think, too, Harding Academy, we were talking during the break about strength of schedules. And Harding Academy, they played 6A Marion. They played 6A Benton, the top two teams in the
exactly.
6A East right now. So that was what Neil Evans has kind of always done. When they were in 3A, they played up to 4A competition. They were in 4A to 5A. So
he was making a schedule for Parkview.
That's it. And something, too, he knew that, especially once that competitive equity factor came out in 2021, they played Valley View in non-conference for the previous 3 years.
And
so beat them too. Yeah, I think Valley View won the first one like 33-30, and then Harding Academy won the previous two very handily. So some very intriguing scores there out of the 5A East. Magnolia shutting out DeQueen 21-0. Arkansas High 14-0 over Hope. The Razorbacks trying to keep those playoff hopes alive. And then Farmington 35-0 over Clarksville. I mean, I'll tell you what, Tommy Tice, the legend, really making a case for Coach of the Year this year. I know Clarksville's down, but just what Farmington has done.
Beating Morton.
Man, that 78-75 score, which
it's an offensive coordinator, like you put 78 points. It's a defensive coordinator, like, gave up 75. That's tough.
That 78-75 score, that's the largest combined, the third largest combined in state history.
Yeah.
It surpassed Bauxite and Fountain Lake
earlier this year.
Week 3.
Yeah.
It's just, man, crazy, the high-scoring games that
we did that article, or we did the graph in the book about the scores going up. Yeah, this is definitely going to change some things. I mean, the amount of 40-point games went from, in 2000, it was like 22% of the games had a 40-point. Now it's like 65. And now you got guys scoring 75 and losing.
Yeah, it is in
regulation.
We've got some great defensive coordinators in this state, but it is harder than ever to be a coordinator that side of the ball right now.
Football favors the offense.
No question. And one that, heading down to 4A, one that many were looking at, Elkins and Grabbit, a battle of undefeated teams. Elkins 21-0 over the Lions. They've just been really the clear-cut favorite all season in Class 4A. Also, Mills University Studies 14-0 over Central Arkansas Christian.
14-7?
Or 14-7, yes, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Heber Springs over Forest City in a game with a playoff Of course, Heber Springs has got the 2 seed. Forest City's in about that 4 or 5 spot right now, trying to keep getting more, getting even better. 21-6. Also, Cape City 12-0 over Gosnell. That's a little bit of a shocking one.
There you go, Cape City.
And of course, Mena and Clinton was another one that they've got their eyes
Dusty's at that game. Yeah, so
he's in Clinton, America.
He's Clinton, America. Our number one filmer, Dusty.
And then Ozark 28-7 over Lamar. Arkadelphia, they look like they're going to possibly pitch their 1,000,000th shutout of the year.
I did. They're so good. And no one gives them any love because Elkins.
Yeah. Let's talk 4A for a second. Kevin Bohannon and I talk about this every week on our podcast, Arkansas Preps Weekly, just about how 4A, you look at 3A, it's so incredibly deep. We saw that last week. 2A, right now, it's kind of Carlisle and everybody else.
Yeah.
And then in the smaller classes, 4A, you like Warren every single year, especially once you get to postseason play. Dardanelle's been really good. Of course, Elkins has just been a machine.
Dardanelle lost to Elkins by
51 points.
Yeah, so Elkins is just rolling people up. Then Elkins, Mercy rolls Warren, in week 3.
And you look at Malvern right now; they're leading it. Which Nashville, they have quietly won 4 in a row.
I know
and they're up
playing
3-0 on Malvern is up 3-0 on Nashville right now. Now, of course, Malvern is unbeaten,
and they're not getting love.
No, and they're not, and they got a really good chance next week. Every single year,
they're going to start 9-0, and then go into week 10. playing Arkadelphia for the conference championship.
And that's how it's been the last few years. It's really the 4A7 conference has really come down to that matchup. So, of course, assuming that Malvern pulls this out.
2 years ago, Arkadelphia mercy rules them, then loses to Harding Academy in the semis. Harding Academy ends up losing to Malvern in the finals. So after 5 weeks later, they get mercy rolled and win the state championship.
I covered that Week 10 matchup because that was 2022.
It was a Saturday.
It was a Saturday because we got rained out across the state.
I remember.
I remember Coach Plumley, which he's now at my alma mater, CAC. I remember him telling me and telling all the media that week leading up to the state championship, that was the best thing that ever happened to us. We got our teeth kicked in, we got mercy ruled, and then they came back, they got hot, and they won the state championship. So, also Monticello 21-0 over Crossett, DeWitt 28-10 over Hamburg, and then Star City 7-0 over Stuttgart. We're going to take another break. We'll come back and finish up with 2 and 3A scores. You are listening to the High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Birch Tree Communities on the Buzz Radio Network.
Year after year, Arkansans choose the best of the best for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, and year after year, we at Roller Funeral Homes are truly honored by your selection. I am Renata Jenkins-Byler. My grandparents founded Roller Funeral Homes. It means a lot for us to be chosen the best funeral homes in Arkansas because we know it comes from those we serve. When it comes to serving your family, you can count on my family year after year to remain the best of the best. Roller Funeral Homes, a family tradition with all our respect.
The love of football defines fall weekends, and in many homes, our families. But it's a demanding sport that can cause injury. That's why UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is on sidelines and in locker rooms for high schools and colleges across the state, ready to care for athletes with clinics in Central and Northwest Arkansas. UAMS Health, official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for Razorback athletics and future Razorbacks all over Arkansas. Learn more at uams.health/team.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
Serious injuries happen every day. If it happens to you, don't wait. Dial 8. Dial 8 for Rainwater, Holton, Sexton. 888-8888. Anywhere in the state, dial 8. We've got you covered, Arkansas.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton. Tune in every Monday night at 7 for the Coach Calipari Show. Coach will break down each game and talk strategy. And it's all brought to you by Genesis of Conway, Central Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Visit genesisofconway.com and find the future of luxury today.
Wrapping things up here on the halftime show from Paul Bear Bryant Stadium, where the hometown Fordyce Redbugs currently lead the Rison Wildcats 16-15. Got a few scores updated here from Class 2 and 3A. We'll start up in 3A. Charleston in Charleston was down now.
No, it's Boonville 34.
Yeah, I think Charleston was winning it. I don't know if I can't remember, but either way. Boonville 34-31 over Charleston in a rivalry game. Of course, Mansfield beat Boonville last week for the first time since the Jimmy Carter administration. Reagan wasn't even in office yet.
I wasn't alive.
Yeah, it was 1980, according to our man Glenn Parrish.
Oh, and Glenn's still upset about it.
Well, and I was talking to Glenn a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about that game specifically, and he said, yeah, that was 1980. It was months before Ronald Reagan got sworn into office. I was still
Glenn remembers it.
Oh, Glenn remembers every little
detail.
He's
like, it was raining. It was 42 degrees.
Hackett 22-20 over West Fork. Mayflower 21-12 over Salem. Then also Rivercrest 45-0 over Manila, trying to rebound from their loss to Osceola last week are the Colts. Newport 16-7 over Hoxie. Walnut Ridge locked in a tight one with Harrisburg.
That's a shocker.
Yeah, 23-21 in the third quarter. Cutter Morning Star and Magnet Cove knotted up at 8. And then, as I mentioned, it's 16-15 Fordyce over Rison here to round out some 3A scores. Also in Class 2A, Conway Christian 43-0 over Hector. Cross County 12-6 over Mark Tree. That's one we kind of had on our radar. Cross County still, they're fighting for that 4 seed there in the 2A2.
Junction City 6-6.
Lafayette County. Interesting. Of course, Junction City lost to Murfreesboro last week. And then Bearden and Poen, how about this one? 6-0 Bears over the Indians. And Carlisle.
Barry Grooms is there. Give us live updates.
Barry Grooms, he is. I know all of his kids are pretty much in the high school, or getting up to the high school.
Yeah, he's got a cheerleader.
So, yeah, got a cheerleader, and then one in junior high that plays for the junior high team. So, the Poen Indians now, I don't know that many expected them to be getting shut out right now. And then Carlisle, really just to me the hands-down favorite in 2A right now, 48-6 or 48-8 over England. Baptist Prep and Clarendon also in that same conference in a 6-6 tie. So, Thomas, the teams are out on the field now, stretching to come out for the second half. I know it's going to be
What's your predictions for the second half?
So, predictions.
Somebody's going to get hit.
Somebody's going to get hit. We know that. I'm not trying to take the cop-out answer, but it's just with how this thing has gone, especially with that 2-point conversion when you thought that it was going to be batted down and then it was caught.
It should have been a Rison halftime lead. Instead, they go into halftime with 1 point. Down
1 point. And I will go back to my keys to the game. I talked about how Rison, they had to make sure that offense stays on the field. And you think about they've been behind the chains a couple of different times. That's not their type of – nobody wants to be behind the chains, especially when you run the flex bone offense. And they've answered just about every call.
Fordyce seems to have more delayed game calls than I've seen a team have all year.
That's the thing that I mentioned right before you came up here as we went to halftime, was that's the thing that they've got to clean up. Fordyce is not playing bad by any means. They're just kind of making some mistakes that are shooting themselves in the foot, like having to waste time.
Right before half. Oh my gosh.
Cadillac, I'll tell you, for a 14, 15-year-old kid, you would expect him to just come out here and be a game manager and just not lose you the game with all these athletes that he has around him. This kid can throw the football.
No, so, I think, when the clock is winding down, he doesn't have to worry about anything else. He knows they're going to pass. And so, anyway, he just looked smooth there. He looked really smooth. I mean, he threw it backside throw, post. I mean, hit him in stride right in front of me. I was like, oh, my gosh, that's
a house. We had a good one from up here, but you had the best one in the house.
Yeah.
So. Well, we are about to start second half of play, Thomas. Appreciate it as always, man. We'll talk to you later, and we will be back with second half action on the Buzz Radio Network Game of the Week presented by Birch Tree Communities.
All right, good work.
Arkansas State University, 3 Rivers.
Want to go to college but don't know the first thing to do? Check out Arkansas State University 3 Rivers. They'll help you relieve that fear and show you how easy enrolling in college can be. Visit asutr.edu and apply online today. Scholarships available for ACT 19 and higher.
Arkansas State University, 3 Rivers, 3 Rivers.
Birch Tree Communities is a behavioral health provider caring for adults living with severe mental illness and a supportive home environment. The staff serves as a guide to members on their journey to independence and a satisfying life in the community. If you have a client, friend, or loved one diagnosed with schizophrenia, schizoaffective, or bipolar disorder and in need of care, please go to birchtree.org, birchtree.org for more information, or call Birch Tree Communities today.
Looking for a restaurant that supports other Arkansas-owned businesses? Highway 270 Grill in Poen serves Petit Jean bacon, ham, and sausage, delicious fried pickles from Arkansas-owned Flywheel Pies, and all their smoked meat is smoked on location using Arkansas-owned Woody's barbecue rub. Also, try their hand-cut ribeyes, prime rib, and double-dip pork chops. With the new renovation, Highway 270 Grill now seats over 85 people, so this is your location for the entire family. Family-owned and operated, Highway 270 Grill in Poen.
Join the Zone each weekday for the Entertainment Report, brought to you by Bell & Sword of Conway. Find out the very latest breaking news and entertainment each day on the Zone. Justin, DJ, and I will dish out what the stars and celebrities have going on, and you can catch it each day. Bell & Sword has everything for the best dressed man. From boots to suits, check them out on Facebook or Instagram. Bell & Sword at their new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
Welcome back here to Paul Bear Bryant Stadium in Fordyce, Arkansas. Red Bug Field. I'm Josh Neighbors alongside me, Kyle Sutherland. I want to thank Thomas Thrash for coming on and hold it down in the halftime show with you, Kyle. Our score right now in this one, it is Fordyce leading Rison 16-15. A back-and-forth affair in the first half between these two undefeated teams. And, I mean, Kyle, this is about as even as you can get. For Rison, I heard Thomas say it, they've controlled the pace. They should be leading, but that playmaking ability of Cadillac Ellison and both Ellisons, to be honest, just kind of put them up there at the end.
That's right, especially just that 2-point conversion really could end up, frankly, with how close it's been just all the way around, that could end up being one of the turning points of the game, really, just because you're not kicking. I guess we've seen one extra point made here, but the rest of it's just been going for two. So that could definitely loom large by the time the final seconds tick off.
Well, the tone was kind of set once Fordyce scored that first touchdown and went for two. It kind of made it a situation where to get back up by 7, Rison had to end up going for 2. They did. So they'll kick off in this second half. Kicking off from right to left are the Rison Wildcats. A short kick. That one's going to be fielded at about the 35-yard line. Going to be taken up. And the ball's loose. It's on the sideline. And diving on it, grabbing it there was Brendan Simmons. It looked like he had the ball on the return, and then someone from Fordyce was able to jump on it after Simmons left the ball behind him. But that's where this Fordyce offense will set up at the 39-yard line. A chance to extend the lead. And Cadillac Ellison got to be feeling pretty good after an inconsistent first half.
And talking about that fumble over there, that was on the Rison sideline. So really, Fordyce caught a break right there. All the noise of everybody cheering, get on the ball, and really just got out of a bad situation.
So 11:54 to go here. Third quarter begins. Ellison is under center. There's one receiver to his right. It's the wing T here. They're going to hand it off right side. That's Sledge. Sledge is greeted at that line of scrimmage. And it looked like Aiden Laws, who really has been doing so much of the dirty work between the trenches, whether it's been on the defensive or offensive side, picking up tough yardage and also making some big stops.
That's what you love about one of the many things you love about small school football is you see guys making plays at all three phases of the game.
Once again, these two teams first place in the 3A8. Nice cool evening now. Starting to cool off just a bit. I formation, handoff left side. Now working back to the right side, it's Sledge. He's got a hole and a flag. A Midtown Plumbing penalty flag comes in after the stop was made by Reeves at the 47-yard line. And so, might have been a sideline warning. Not sure. Your refs are conferencing. They're going to say it's a first down. It's a sideline warning. It looks like against the Rison Wildcats. It's been Josh Neighbors, Kyle Sutherland here. And also back in studio, I want to thank Damon Poole. Make sure catch Randy Rainwater at the High School Football Scoreboard Show coming up at 10 o'clock Central Time. So I formation, one tight end. Handoff now, going to go right side again to Sledge. And he's met near the line of scrimmage. Great job on that stop by Gavin Wilson Jr.
Gavin Wilson Jr. hit him right there at the line of scrimmage. A couple of his teammates came there to assist.
The junior, named Junior, makes the stop there. 10:30 and counting here in the third quarter. A lot of games we've had this year, Kyle, have been tight after that first half. Seen a bunch of teams find that kind of second half advantage. We'll see if this one goes that way or stays tight the rest of the way. Man in motion, left side. Now it's a handoff back to Sledge. And he's able to pick up a couple tough yards, but not a whole lot going there as Laws makes the stop once again. Nope, it was actually 53, Thomas Wilson.
Fordyce kind of playing Rison's game right now, just trying to get a few yards here and there. And we saw this in the first couple of drives there from Fordyce. There's no need to really go to the air right now. Just see what kind of push your offensive line can get.
Fordyce working left to right across your radio dial in black jerseys, black pants, white stripe down the side, white helmets. Inside give now. Goes right side again. It looked like it was Sledge. Play is blown dead. Not much happening there. As it was Kyson Walker.
Chandler Reeves also there and on that stop. And good sportsmanship from Reeves to pull him up off the turf. You know, this is one thing I've noticed, Josh. It's a very physical game. We've seen some big hits, but there's good sports. There is some friend. I think Thomas hit it perfectly. There is a friendly rivalry They want to beat each other, but there's a lot of respect as well.
Well, these teams will keep the undefeated season going. I formation on 4th down and 2. Handoff goes left side. Sledge, will he get there to the first down marker? I don't think he did. He is stopped. And it's Ethan Saylor, the sophomore, comes up and handles Brenton Sledge.
I'm a little shocked they didn't go to the air, at least on one of those plays during the drive. They ran a 4-play drive that they just, so 4 and out that they go.
Mostly between the tackles, too. So the ball is spotted at the 47-yard line. No measurement needed there. And they measured basically everything tonight. And so it's a turnover on downs, a massive moment for Rison here early in the third quarter. Wildcats set up at their own 42-yard line. Walker fakes right. Now he'll keep it to the inside. Gets about 3 yards. And it was A.J. Hines who stays hot. It feels like
he called his name a lot.
Yep, especially in this last stretch here on defense. He's coming from that spot. He's one of the interior tackles. He's kind of the speed and the strength. It's also in the middle there, Chauncey Robinson as well. 2nd down and 6 from the 46. Give off right side. It's going to be Christian Saylor, excuse me.
This offensive line, they're just getting, I can't say it enough, they're just getting such a good push. And really, for the most part, Josh, you look at that offensive line of Rison compared to the defensive line of Fordyce, particularly there in the middle. I mean, they're getting a great push on this and running their offense just exactly how they want to.
Yep, and they pick up themselves a fresh set of downs. So they'll operate now from the 48-yard line of Fordyce. A lot of action here kind of in the middle of the field. Oh, fumble snap. That one's on the ground. Does Fordyce have it? A couple players signals that they do, but it is. It's Fordyce football. And guess who it was? 55, A.J. Hines. TFLs. Stops the middle. Fumble recoveries. The second time tonight that a snap has been mishandled.
Second takeaway for the Red Bugs, and you remember the first one that they got, Rison was able to stop them. Can this defense come through again?
And, I mean, with the pace this game is going, Kyle, it's been a whole lot of action on the ground, as you mentioned. So these two teams just traded possessions, but already 3+ minutes has gone from this second half. So these possessions become more meaningful. A turnover on downs, and then a turnover. And now Fordyce sets it up. It's a screen pass to the outside. It's Jamartez Shroud, who is able to work from about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage to 5 yards in front of it, and he's going to be stopped at the Rison 45.
Ethan Saylor, who had that big stop on 4th down on the previous drive, he actually read that play really well, just over-pursued a little bit. Now enabled him to get a nice gain on that.
But thank you for listening and watching to this game of the week, however you're doing it, on the Buzz Radio Networks, the app, terrestrial radio stations, Facebook, X, Twitch, YouTube. Shotgun snap now. Ellison tries to carry it inside. Some tough yardage. He'll get near the first down marker. I think he's got it at the Rison 41.
Going back to what we said earlier, that's the luxury you have when you've got a quarterback of that stature. I don't know if you remember, well, you don't remember Dorian Griswold that played tight end for A-State years ago. He was a quarterback at Dumas, and I played against him as a freshman. And those similar stats, maybe a few more inches, so he was probably about 6'4". But when you've got a quarterback that's that big and you've got about 3 yards to gain, he's just going to fall forward and get it just about every time.
It's a long night trying to bring guys like that down. So play clock is at 5. Ellison's got 2 to his right, 2 to his left, and a receiver in the shotgun. Another direct snap. He's going to take it forward. Picks up about 2 yards, almost lost the ball. But a great job in that interior by Gavin Wilson Jr. making the stop, a gain of 1. 6:23 and counting here in the third quarter. Fordyce leads Rison 16-15. Shotgun snap's taken. It's a jet sweep to the left side. It's Stroud. Stroud's able to pick up a yard. Now he cuts back. He's got someone on the left side. He's got a convoy now. 10, 5, touchdown. Fordyce. It's a house call for Jamartez Stroud.
There's that speed. All you got to do is just break free a little bit. He broke through a few shoestring tackles. No flags on the field. Touchdown Fordyce.
And they've been hitting some of those bubble plays tonight, those short plays, letting their playmakers try to negotiate their way forward. It's been a while, but the referees are conferencing. There is a Midtown punting penalty flag back at the 39-yard line. As it stands right now, it's a 40-yard touchdown scamper, but it looks like it's going to be coming back. So Jamartez Stroud, who did a great job of weaving his way to the sideline and then turning on the Jets, looks like he'll have that TD run wiped out by a penalty. We'll see what the flag is. I'm assuming it's in the area of holding.
Well, I retract my statement. There was a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag. My 20/20 vision that I so often brag about failed me on that one. I think I was just too focused on where the ball was.
So the Red Bugs will be backed up now to a 2nd down and 18 at the Rison 49. Killer penalties have really hurt both these teams tonight. It's coming down to execution, Kyle. Who can really take care of the football?
Yeah, no, and I was just going to say that's the biggest one of the night because that's the only one that's had a touchdown. We've seen some big plays called back,
right,
but not a touchdown just like that one.
So Ellison's in the shotgun now. The receiver goes in motion. There's 2 to his right now, 1 to his left. He rolls out to his right, looking downfield. Lobs it up. He's got a man. It's caught. Ellison to Ellison again. The same play that got them a touchdown previously in this game gets them in the red zone. Ellison spotted at the 11-yard line.
Ellison only had 10 receptions coming into tonight. He averages 27 yards per reception. He has been massive. How about that throw? All the pressure in the world coming at him. Did I guess Cadillac Ellison, got to be careful with just saying Ellison. Cadillac had all that pressure coming at him. Makes the throw, stands in there. That's a big man play right there.
Ellison squared. The connection has been great. We've had Reeves squared for Rison, and Ellison squared for Fordyce is doing some work. 4 seconds to play clock. 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line. Run forward is going to net about 2 yards. And so it'll be 2nd down. 5:15 and counting.
I can't say enough, Josh. This is such a physical game, but they're playing clean. They're playing between. They're playing within the rules of the game. I mean, this is one of the more physical matchups. When you talk about big hits, great blocks that we've seen tonight, and these guys are playing a clean game, but very effective and aggressive.
Inside of 5 minutes to play. 2nd down and 8. Run to the inside. It's Sledge. He'll get about 4, and so now it's going to be 3rd down and short at the 5. I think here it's 4 down territory in the red zone.
Man, big 78, Chauncey Robinson. That is a big boy out there.
So 3rd down and 5 from the 5, says the scoreboard. Even though first down to pick up, run to the inside. It's going to be a big pile up at the 2. And the referees eventually blow the whistle. Let's see if they give the 1st down yardage. Looks like the 1st down is at about the 1.5-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and short here. Do you call 13's number?
I would. Just let him fall forward, get a nice, decent push, and fall forward, and you're in the end zone.
Crowd now on its feet. It's going to be a rush forward. Did Ellison get it? He's trying to work his way towards the end zone. The referees did not blow the whistle, and it's going to be a touchdown. Initially, Cadillac Ellison looked like he was stood up, but the refs let him play, and Fordyce gets a push forward, and they find their way into the end zone. They draw first blood in the 2nd half.
They weren't able to take advantage of getting the football back after the halftime break, but they were able to get that football back, and this time they turned a turnover into points, which they were not able to do earlier.
Huge play coming here, 22-15 our score. It's going to be a 2-point conversion attempt, it appears, and so this could make it a 2-score game. Biggest play of the game coming right here. 3:37 left to go in the 3rd. Man goes in motion, I formation. It's a toss play to the left. Sledge has it, cuts back in. Did he get there? He did, says the far official. 2-point conversion is good. So with 3:37 to go, our score is Fordyce 24, Rison 15. You're listening to the Birch Street Communities Game of the Week, the Buzz Radio Network.
When a patient rings the bell after completing cancer treatment, we celebrate one more step toward healing. And with the new UAMS Baptist Health Cancer Center, we celebrate the trusted choice in cancer care. The two greatest healthcare forces in Arkansas have come together to deliver second-to-none treatments with the latest technology, all in celebration of you. Learn more at baptist-healthcancercenter.com. Baptist Health, for you, for life.
Midtown Plumbing services over 1 million square feet of commercial property in Little Rock. And they've also provided plumbing needs to thousands of residential clients all over Central Arkansas. Along with residential and commercial plumbing, Midtown also provides water heater sales, sewer repair, remodeling services, and 24-hour emergency plumbing. Midtown Plumbing, just a phone call away. 501-426-5900. MidtownMechanicalServices.com.
Kickoff is going to be clear at the 15-yard line for Rison. It's Reeves. He works to his right. He's got some space, but he is smoked at the 34-yard line. So now down 9 are the Rison Wildcats. 3:30 to play here in the third quarter. So huge drive coming here, obviously, Kyle, because with the way this offense has worked, it's been a very methodical. It's worked pretty well, but a couple turnovers have hurt them. And now time is of the essence because you're down 2 scores.
And this is how you find out how far they are going to dig deep, because they're on the road and they have not been down by this deficit. It's just been a point here, a point there.
Let's see what Chris Verine's Rison Wildcats can do. Toss play right side. Reeves is bottled up in the backfield. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. But a great play. Good penetration from 66, Tayshawn Childs. And so it's going to be 2nd down and 9. We'll see if the pace quickens at all for Rison. And I mean, once again, Kyle, down 2 scores just does not feel like the state of affairs right now for Rison, but that's where they find themselves. Wing T formation, man in motion. It's going to be one of those reverse gives, and it's stuffed. And up the middle, no room to run against 55, A.J. Hines.
He's got to be, if he's not in double-digit tackles, he's flirting with it. And coming into tonight, what was it? He had 32 and 5 for loss, but he has at least a third of that, I would say.
Impressive ability from the interior defensive lineman. He's slender, but man, is he strong, is he fast. 3rd down and 7 from their own 37 for Rison. It's a passing play, and Walker completely misses the intended target, Jacquez Rawls. He had him open on a slant route, but Walker, you can tell, doesn't throw very often. Rushed that throw, and now it's 4th and 7.
And they're going to bring on the punt team, and rightfully so. You know, that's his second pass attempted tonight. Now 1 of 2, and that's his 29th attempt of the year. Now you're in a position where you're pretty much forced to. When he threw that one earlier, that was just trying to get the ball down the field. Now you're going to be forced to throw, especially if Rison gets the football back and takes it down for another score.
Punt is up. It's a pretty good one. It's going to sail to the 30-yard line, takes a hop down to the 27.
I think I said Rison getting the ball back. Obviously, man, Fordyce.
Fordyce, yep, the Redbugs will have the ball at their own 27-yard line. 2:06 to play as Chauncey Robinson hypes up the crowd, kind of a little bit, moment for everybody to catch their breath. So Rison's defense been a bit vulnerable down to the explosive play. We've seen that pass play work twice, where it's Ellison rolling to his right, fighting Ellison, who's on a basically deep post pattern to the middle of the field.
Yeah, that post route, it's been there. They've only hit it twice. They're 2 for 2. So that's one thing that I know that this defense that was probably something they talked about, was that play has really kind of did them in twice.
Jamartez Stroud also found his way downfield, called back by a penalty, but the big plays have been coming now. See what kind of pace they like for. 6 seconds left. Man runs on late, another timeout, and man, Fordyce, at this point of the year, you just cannot be having this many penalties or potential penalties as they signal for a timeout. First timeout of the half taken by the Redbugs.
we were here 2 years ago, Josh, for this game. It was one of the best games that I think I've ever been a part of. Rison, of course, I know that it's a touchy subject for Fordyce fans because Rison won it in the final, literally second. It was 1.1 seconds, right, I think, when Rison scored. That one came down to the wire, and I know that right now Fordyce, they've got a two-score lead with just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter, but this one's far from over.
Birch Street Communities, a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Buzz. If you have a client, friend, or loved one being diagnosed with schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, please contact their administration and go to birchstreetcommunity.org for more information. Thank them for their sponsorship. Also, Electrical Cooperatives of Arkansas, powering Friday Night Lights, ASU 3 Rivers, Roller Funeral Homes, Midtown Plumbing, as well as Highway 270 Grill in Poen. First and 10 of the I formation here. It's a give off to the left side. Sweep, working to his right, rather. It's Micah Gamble. We'll get about 4 yards there. Also want to mention, Kyle, halftime show you talked about it, but for those folks who stepped away during halftime, Fordyce honored the first responders from the shooting that happened back here in June, and the great gift, obviously, this community for what this football team's already done this year, but if they can keep this thing rolling, just a massive thing, and also is so great to see those first responders being honored in front of both the Rison folks and the Fordyce community.
Absolutely. They do jobs that many of us just can't even imagine, and they were so brave on that particular day.
Well, thank them. I formation once again. Give it to the right side. It's going to be taken in a big collision towards the outside. It was Ethan Saylor who met Tyrell Harris, the sophomore. I haven't called his name very much. I don't think it was his first carry on the evening. Once again, 24-15 our score.
That just shows how deep they are. Look at all these guys here that we have on our sheet, and then you bring him in, and that's just another one that they can take off the bench.
Nice to have some fresh legs late in the third, and so it's a 1st and 10 now from their own 40. 1:21 clock is stopped. 2-score lead for the Redbugs. Snap is muffed, and Ellison's able to collect it, but then he's tripped up. In on the stop, it was Jacquez Rawls. So under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Josh Neighbors and Kyle Sutherland here on the call. Paul Bear Bryant Stadium in Fordyce, Arkansas. Two 3A8 teams battling out for the top of the league. Combined 16-0 on the season, 10-0 in conference play. Second down and 9. Ellison taking his time, hands it off up the middle. Nice little cutback there from Gamble. And he's going to gain about only a yard, though. And they'll be able to take this thing to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say, might get one more playoff here. Looks like they're going to try to run one. 23 seconds and counting. Oh, no, they're not.
They're going to, no need to add any extra plays. Clock now the friend of the Redbugs. So 10 seconds remaining here. We'll step aside as we head to the fourth quarter. We're through 3. Our score, Fordyce 24. Rison 15. You're listening to the Birch Tree Communities High School Football Game of the Week on the Buzz Radio Networks.
Today comes only once. It is a day of opportunity. What is done with this day will play a big part in determining the future. I am Renata Jenkins Bowler with Roller Funeral Homes. That is a pretty bold statement, but a true one nevertheless, because every day is filled with opportunities taken or missed. At Roller Funeral Homes, we look at each day as an opportunity to prove ourselves worthy of the trust that you have put in us for so many years. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect.
Arkansas State University, 3 Rivers.
You want to stay at home and take college classes? Visit Arkansas State University 3 Rivers at asutr.edu and enroll in online classes toward a certificate or degree. So keep your PJs on and go to asutr.edu. Scholarships available for ACT 19 and higher.
Arkansas State University, 3 Rivers, 3 Rivers.
Back here, Paul Bear Bryant Stadium, Fordyce, Arkansas, as the Fordyce Redbugs lead the Rison Wildcats 24-15 as we start the fourth quarter. The Buzz Game of the Week, presented by Birch Tree Communities. 3rd down and 7 here Flag is thrown, and that is going to be 2 flags thrown. So it was a kind of delayed pass from Ellison looking deep for his receiver, Vincent Stroud.
And that was where the pass interference came from.
Yeah, just a really rough penalty for Rison there, because I think that was going to be a procedural penalty, the first flag, at least the first Midtown Plumbing penalty flag. So you got pass interference of the defense. That one's declined. 3rd down. So I think they haven't gotten both penalties yet. So we had a false start, and once. So it's right. I was about to say this, Kyle. The pass interference doesn't occur because the false start happened, but these referees have continued to let the play persist after a false start, which I thought kills the play.
Yeah.
It's a 3rd and 7 once again.
I think this is the 3rd time that we're not questioning him by any means. I think that's just the 3rd time that we've seen some things that maybe we haven't seen before.
So 3rd down and 7. Shotgun snap from Ellison. He's under pressure. Has to get in the way. He is sacked. And there's a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag. I don't think it's an illegal hit. I want to say it's intentional grounding.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, because it's got to be.
No receiver in the area. He just got rid of that football, but he got crushed coming off the edge.
Which, of course, will bring up 4th and 7 with the loss down.
It was Christian Reeves off the edge there, who just shot out of a cannon unaccounted for, getting to the quarterback. And now Rison trying to fire up their side. Once again, not much space to be had, whether it's in the stands, in the surrounding parts of the stadium. It's full house. It's been a full house since about an hour before kickoff. That is intentional grounding, so the ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line of Fordyce. So 4th down now and 20, 11:49 to play. Punt team is out there. Nobody back to return, which actually would be my strategy normally if I was a coach on the punt return. Just too much can go wrong. Late substitutions always happening for Fordyce. Another one. They had 10 men on the field. Get the 11th on. And so Ellison is back to punt. Gets this one away. It's a spinner as it crosses the 50. And it's going to take a nice little Fordyce hop down to the 36-yard line. And that is where Rison will take over. So, Kyle, that one pass play they ran last drive didn't look too good for Rison.
Yeah, I think you just go back. You still got plenty of time, 11:38, so we're just into the 4th quarter here. So you just keep running your offense, keep doing what you're doing. We saw, especially in the first half, like first quarter mainly, where they broke off a couple of those ones, whether it be up the middle or around the edge. So you still continue running your offense. You don't have to go to the air full time just yet.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rison Wildcats from their own 36-yard line as they begin to go to work. Walker back to pass. Steps up, throws downfield. There's nobody there. It must have been a miscommunication. And I would not be shocked if they're going to call intentional grounding on this one, because there was nobody within
almost
30 yards.
Surely he was thinking one of his outside receivers was running a go, and maybe the receiver thought he was running a hitch or something like that. And that's the only thing that I could think of, because he rolled left and just hardly looked and chucked it down the field.
The staff of Fordyce not too pleased, but they'll take it. 2nd down and 10, 11:31 to go. So opening up with a pass play. Walker now goes back under center. Takes the snap. We're going to give it to Reeves. Reeves tries to work to the left side, but he's met and dragged backwards. Vincent Stroud comes up and makes the stop, and now it's 3rd and long again.
This is, 4-down territory, obviously, but these next 2 plays, assuming that Fordyce doesn't convert here, definitely the 2 biggest plays of the game for them, easily.
So, 11 minutes and counting. 2 wide receivers to the left. Walker's in the shotgun. H-back and a receiver. H-back to pass, rolling to his left. Steps up, rods it downfield. And a receiver tripped and fell. Interception was almost made by Xavier Jones, but he dropped it. But now it's 4th and 10.
Walker, it seems like on those last two throws, I mean, he knew that he was going to roll left and just chunk it down the field. I don't know that there was really any just going through your progressions. Could have been a disastrous play there for the Wildcats.
Well, the offense for them is stalled in this second frame. And aimed so often about halftime adjustments, they've been the much less clean team when it comes to execution. Now they're going to run a fake. Trying to run a fake up the middle. They do. Ball pops out. It's a fumble recovered by Brendan Simmons. Ball's loose again, though. It's down the field. It's at the 40-yard line. It's picked up. And now trying to make a play with it is Jamartez Stroud. So a player has two fumbles and now a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag. Two Midtown Plumbing penalty flags as there's a fracas at the 35-yard line of Fordyce. So they try to run a fake. I think what's they call when they post the ball on the ground and somebody comes by?
Oh, stop me.
Did Nebraska run something like that?
Yeah.
Whatever that play is called. But they put it on the ground. Guy comes by and picks it up. Reeves pulls the ball initially. It's picked up by Brendan Simmons, who runs backwards to his own 40. He loses the football, which at that point, if Rison recovered it, would have been their ball first down.
Yeah, there was about 3 or 4 fumbles.
And then it was picked up. I didn't see who grabbed it once again for Rison.
It was Jamartez Stroud.
So Jamartez Stroud grabs it, goes out of bounds, and then he's hit late by Spencer Towery, and then there was a second penalty thrown in. So let's see if there's offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct or they're both going against Rison, because we know at least one is for a late hit.
Yeah, and they did a good job. It could have been a pretty ugly scrum there when he got hit out of bounds, and they did a good job. Coaches and officials did a good job of cleaning that up real quick, making sure it didn't get out of hand.
So we have offsetting penalties. It'll be a first down for Fordyce at their own 39-yard line. 38-yard line, actually.
And that was an interesting. I love the trickery. We talk about it every week. We love some gamblers. We like Dan Campbell type guys that are going to kind of gamble a little bit. But I don't know that I would have ran that in that particular situation. But you got to do what you got to do, and I get it. And they're down 2 scores, and they're a flexbone team that's not going to pass a whole lot. So just trying to do something to catch them off guard.
I want to thank Douglas Headard in our chat. He says the Fumblerooski. The Fumblerooski is what they tried to run right there. It did not work. First and 10.
Also, Jack Allen, our friend from Channel 7, said the same thing.
Thank you, Jack. Ellison tosses it. It's back to Sledge, who ends up cutting it back in a fantastic tackle. It was a toss play that was going right, and then Sledge stopped, went back to the left, picked up about 4 yards, and thanks to a shoestring tackle from Aiden Laws, it wasn't more. Second down and 6 as we are now under 10 minutes to play, and a flag is thrown, a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag is thrown at the far side of the field with the Rison sideline. I think it's going to be a sideline warning.
That's what I was thinking too, because the way the official was talking to Coach Rogers, that's what it looks like.
He must be getting the business over there.
Yeah, Coach Rogers is pretty fired up. He's definitely upset.
Chris Marine and company on that far Rison sideline pick up the 5-yard penalty. So now it goes to 2nd and 2 as the clock continues to roll. Ellison is in the wing T formation. He hands it off to the inside, moving forward and grabbing first down yardage. It looks like that was Tremaine Turner, I think, on the carry, either Tremaine Turner or it was Jamartez Stroud. Wasn't able to see, but a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag has also been introduced to the action.
Going to get them holding on Fordyce.
And so this down marker has moved forwards and backwards, and now it's going to be a 2nd down and 10.
Fordyce doing the old school way, having the quarterback come over to the sideline, talk to the coach, and call the plays. And that's what they did back in my day, Josh.
ASU Three Rivers, you can earn a degree or a certificate at Arkansas State University Three Rivers in Malvern and make your dream a reality. Apply online at asutr.edu. I want to thank them for their sponsorship of the high school football game of the week. Ellison hands it off. And the carry's going to go forward about 5 yards. Micah Gamble on that left side rush.
Here comes the train again.
Train is back. Fordyce offense been a little bit of a train here in the second half. The defense, though, really has been the hammer. Under 9 minutes to play, 9-point lead for the Redbugs. So time now becoming a little bit of a factor. The 3rd down and 4 from their own 44. High formation, handoff goes left side. Swarming in from behind, multiple Rison Wildcats, spearheaded by Aiden Laws. Excuse me. Yep, it was Aiden Laws. Can't tell if that's a 2 or a 7.
Laws came from the backside to make that play. It was a counter to the left, and he came from the backside, making out 4th and 4.
And so now it is 4th down and 4 from their own 44, 8-10 and counting. Huge play coming right here, but I think if you're Fordyce, with how good your defense has been playing, you run this thing down and you probably punt. No need to give Rison a short field. Snap is back. Punt is up. It's a low wobbler. Left side, it bounces inside the 30. Out of about the 29. So didn't look great starting out, but now it ends up being a pretty decent punt. So they're able to flip about, doing the quick math in my head, 27 yards right there? Not a long punt, but with the way Rison's offense works pace-wise, still every yard counts.
All right, and got to go 71 yards.
I think the folks on the stream got spoiled by the Poen experience with the cameras. Now apparently they think I'm a cameraman and they don't think I'm a very good one. All right, 7:51 to go in the 4th quarter. Kyson Walker's got it. He's working now to the left side, takes it himself at about 2 yards. And this defense has just bowed up in the second half for Fordyce, especially that interior cut.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the pregame, is they're only allowing just under 9 points per game. But when you think about the starters, how much that they've had to put their reserves, or had the opportunity to put their reserves in because they've been leading games so much, that's kind of increased by 2 or 3 points. But the starters coming in really only allowing about 5 or 6.
War of attrition up front being won by Fordyce. 2nd down and 7. Flag, a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag, comes into playing. It's going to be a false start.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Last thing you need right now if you're Rison is to move backwards.
We thank Roller Funeral Homes. Arkansas has voted Roller Funeral Homes best of the best for 25 consecutive years. In the Arkansas Democrat Gazette readership poll, generations of families have recognized the Roller difference and know when they call on Roller, they will receive all their respect. And I thank them for supporting the Birch Street Community's high school football game of the week. Shotgun formation now, under 7 to play, 2nd down and 12. Going deep, launching into double coverage. It's up and it's going to be dropped. Not much of a... It went the same play 3 times. Right?
Yeah.
It's just a deep shot on the left side. And Walker is hell-bent on throwing that ball no matter what the coverage is.
Yeah, Xavier Jones again on the coverage. He almost had the pick on the last drive. Also, too, Brent Sledge coming over from his safety spot to help out a little bit.
This game was 15-8 Rison at one point. Since then, it's been a 16-0 run for Fordyce, and the nothing, I think, is the big part of that because it's been 3rd and long. I mean, not many short-yarded situations, and now a timeout is called by Rison. So we'll step aside as well. With 6:50 to go, it's 24-15. Rison is trailing Fordyce in the Birch Street Community's high school football game of the week.
The fine art of armchair quarterbacking.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
Entergy works for the moments you live for. The joy. The heart.
Here's your boy.
The wonder.
And if we do this, our robot should...
At Entergy, we're dedicated to powering each moment, today and for future generations. or leading the way with a cleaner, more reliable grid to power every day. Because these moments matter.
Your graduating class.
We power life. Entergy.
If you want to know what frustration looks like, Rison just used a consecutive timeout. That's kind of, I think, a pretty emblematic moment for Rison.
Yeah, they broke the huddle, went out on the field and called another one, so they've got one timeout with 6:50 remaining in the ball game. Fordyce up 24-15.
And this is something that we mentioned earlier on one of the touchdown drives, is that Rison was able to move the ball well, Kyle, but it was not massive explosive plays most of the time. And now they're trying to hit those massive explosive passing plays, and it's not a passing offense.
Yeah, other than on one of the first two drives early on that Chandler Reeves broke that 45-yard run, whatever it was. Other than that, it's just, again, here and there, and they've just been getting first downs from the 4- and 5-yard plays.
Shotgun snap taken by Walker. It's a screenplay. Laws has it. He's at the 30. He's going to work his way up to the 35-yard line, and that will net them about 7. So 4th down. Laws has come out of the game. His helmet came off. So it's going to be 4th down at about 4.
That's definitely big from a blocking standpoint, especially you think about all he does is that fullback. So assuming that Walker is going to pass here, that's big to have him out, not as a pass protector.
Listen to the bite, the First True Communities High School Football Game of the Week on the Buzz Radio Networks. Fordyce leads Rison 24-15. Run up the middle. It's going to be close to first down yardage. I'm not sure that it's just a pretty basic run play.
I think he got
the chains. The chains there.
He got it just barely. That was a good spot. And that was no sense in measuring that one.
And so back to basics for Rison there. Under 6 minutes to play, though. They've got to start getting the plays in faster, because at this pace, one first down from Fordyce, even after a score, probably ends the game. They've only got one timeout. Under center is Walker. One wide receiver is to his right as they work from left to right. Big run here. And it looked like Jeremiah Marshall was about to break a big one. A great low tackle from one of the defenders on Fordyce keeps it at just a 9-yard gain.
That's safety Brent Sledge coming up again.
Huge tackle from Sledge. 2nd down and 1 at their own 49. Man goes in motion. It's going to be a toss play. Reeves has it, tries to bounce to the outside. He gets the edge. He's got the 40, and it's going to be a few Midtown Plumbing penalty flags.
Face mask, so you're going to get even more on top of it.
I'm wondering, though, did he also grab the face mask of a defensive player?
He could have. The referee on the back judge over there had said face mask, but that's a good question as well.
Because this is the one thing I don't love. They always let, as we see it here, it's a face mask on the defense. Offensive players are basically allowed to do whatever they want with their hands. Never been a huge fan of that. Because if it's hands in the face on defense, why doesn't hands in the face in the offense?
Yeah.
I digress. It's a huge 15 yards extra on top of what was a impressive 12-yard run. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Fordyce 23-yard line. Rison, it's the best drive they've had here in the second half. 5 minutes to go in the game. Rison needs a score. It's going to be Walker. Shimmies, crosses the 20-yard line. He's up to about the 15. So a nice first down pickup, and they're inside the red zone. 2nd down and 2 upcoming. Pace quickens, hands on hips for both sides. It's been a physical game, as you mentioned, Kyle, the entire way through. It's what you expect from a rivalry game with two teams that play the way they do, both an 8-0. Snap taken. It's going to be a run to the right side. Good blocking here. A spin move to the inside for Reeves. Reeves is pushing his way to the 10-yard line. He'll fall across the 8-yard line, and that's going to be a first down for Rison. So 1st and goal from the 8. Clock continues to run. 4:20 to go. Rison is trailing by 9 points. 24-15 our score. Mark it at the 9. The clock has not become their friend. Walker in the I formation. He takes the snap, hands it off to Reeves. Reeves rumbles forward, breaks 3 or 4 tackles. It's a touchdown. We got a one-score game, Kyle.
Grown man run right there, right up the middle. Reeves loves to run up the middle. We talked about that big run that he popped earlier in the first half. And, man, right up, they still got, it was 3:53, and this is a team in Rison known, as I said earlier, to pull some trickery on kickoff. So they've practiced onside kickoffs plenty, and still plenty of time left in this game for them to come back.
So it's 24-21. It's going to be a 2-point conversion. At least that's what it appears to be right now. Big 2-point conversion. Kyle, we look back. I mean, we have a 3-point game right now. It's got a timeout, and that's going to be a timeout to Rison. I think that's their third and final timeout. But we go back to 2-point conversions earlier in the game. There was a 2-point conversion that appeared after Fordyce scored. It looked like it could have been a pick 2 the other way. Reeves tips it, and then it was Micah Gamble for Fordyce who catches it, goes to the end zone. If that doesn't happen, this play right here would be to take the lead.
Yeah, that's great. And that's one of the points that we had made, was that could very well come back to be the key point, not just one of, but the key point in the ball game.
24-21 our score, 3:53 to go following the timeout. Fordyce trying to defend home turf here and get to 9-0 on the season.
That behind that end zone, it is full. Mix of Rison and Fordyce fans.
Not much space to be had here. The Rison fans have crowded around that goalpost because on that far right side for us, because that's where they're headed. Now it's going to be an extra point. The kick is up, and that one looks good. It is. So they decide to kick there to make it a 24-22 game. I guess the calculus there being, hey, look, we have to get a stop on this next drive, right? Touchdown most likely not going to happen because you're out of timeouts too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't really matter what happens there. You're within 3.
Of course, if you're costing Walker, too, it does take a lot, especially because you've got a really good amount of time left. Yes, you don't have the timeouts, but, of course, in high school football, if you get a first down, the clock does stop, so that does help you in that regard. But it's definitely going to be a little bit of pressure off of him, knowing that he's not having to play behind 2 scores now.
So, Rison several times tonight, Kyle, has done pooch kicks. You might as well almost just go for the onside here, right? I mean, it's not like the result would be essentially the same. So lining up to kick it now, it's Leo Ramos. From his own 40. Here comes the kick. It is an onside kick. It's fielded immediately. Very cleanly fielded by Fordyce. And they're going to get the ball at the 45-yard line of Rison.
That one went right into Vincent Stroud's hands.
So tough for Ramos, but Vincent Stroud, sure-handed. Had to fight for some yardage, too. Paid for it. He's slow to get up. What a great season for Chris Verine's Rison Wildcats. Comes over from Star City after 6 seasons there, 5 of which he made the playoffs in. Takes the job at Rison off to an 8-0 start. And obviously, we all know the job that Timothy Rogers has done on 2 state championships back-to-back in 2019, 2020, searching for another one here. I formation, give his left side, and tripped up. Looked like it was a pretty big hole, but tripped up by Rison immediately. And I think it was Jaquez Rawls who made the stop. So gain of 2, 2nd down and 8, 3:32 and counting here. 3-8, bragging rights on the line. A rivalry has been played every year, for at least the last 50 years. Second down and 8. Wing T formation. Ellison goes back to pass. He's got a man downfield. Throws it, puts it right in the breadbasket. 10, 5, touchdown. Fordyce goes deep, and Jamartez Stroud is on the receiving end of Cadillac Ellison's touchdown pass.
There was really just no chance. He was in one-on-one coverage with Tyson Walker, kind of faced him out there at the snap of the ball, and just runs it go straight towards the end zone. They were going to have an unsportsmanlike penalty. They just threw a Midtown Plumbing penalty flag.
Now, is that unsportsmanlike on Fordyce?
Well, they just threw it.
Because that's a huge play.
Yeah.
Our score is 30-22. So this touchdown would then, let's see where they mark it off. Almost, I mean, I know massive swings of emotion here, and just young kids, but man.
Yeah, it's unsportsmanlike.
And so now, the 2-point conversion attempt is going to come from the 17-yard line. And if they don't get it, it's still a one-score game.
Yeah.
So that extra point really pays off here. But Ellison throwing the football, man, I mean, he is an explosive passer.
Yeah.
You know, he is all about that big ball. And not say he can't throw short and intermediate, but, man, when you got a weapon like that and you got receivers that can get open. So here we go, shotgun snap taken. Back to pass is Ellison. Throws it over the middle. He's got a man. It's tipped. It goes out of the back of the end zone. So Fordyce not able to convert. Rison holds. And with 3:03 to go, it looks like the Wildcats are going to get that football back and have a chance to tie the game.
No team, it's just, they can't, no team can put them away.
Yeah.
It's just back, but that's what we like to see. We love to see this in rivalry games. You know, we don't want to cover blowouts if we don't have to. We want to see these back and forth, and definitely have seen that tonight. I don't know what it is about Fordyce Rison, but every time we're here, it's close.
Well, I'll tell you what, these two teams, two of the best in 3A, could definitely vie for a state championship.
Definitely.
When it comes to other teams that, we were talking earlier, River Crested and Prescott and all them, they play them. Both these teams have to clean up the penalties and the mental mistakes.
No doubt.
There have been a variety on both sides.
Yeah, no doubt. And absolutely, that's the thing, too, is one thing you got to remember here is regardless of who wins, who loses, I'll go back to what we were talking about earlier, is this is as much of a playoff atmosphere as anybody is going to play in all classifications tonight. So both of them are going to get a lot out of this game regardless of who walks out with the win and loss.
So it was Kalen Ellison actually was shaken up on that play. Wide receiver, punter for Fordyce. Redbugs trying to stay undefeated, as is Rison. Thought Fordyce had an edge coming into the game. Rison started off fast. Fordyce grabbed the momentum again, and a gotta-have-it drive. Rison scores, and then a touchdown answered back the other way, but still a one-score game because of the two-point derby that we've had. So now a huge kickoff here. It's going to go to the left side, and it's going to sail out of bounds. So great field position coming for Rison with 3:03 to go. And the pacing, they don't really have to worry too much now. Obviously, you need to roll a bit with the way they run their offense, but when you get to start further upfield, you're going to be in good shape. So I think they're going to make them re-kick.
Motorcycle.
And there's all kinds of motor vehicles on display tonight. At the train, there's a locomotive. Yeah, I guess the motor vehicle. The buzz truck is here.
The buzz truck is here.
Yeah.
As you said, a driving advertisement.
It is. That is the point of the exercise with that car. I want to thank our producer, Damon Poole, back in the studio, as well as all of our sponsors. Josh Neighbors, Kyle Sutherland on hand. Fordyce Rison. 30-22 game. Fordyce up by 8, kicking back to Rison. This kick from the 35-yard line. Teed up and uncorked. It's a pretty good one this time. Will be caught at the 21. Here comes Rison. Got a hole. Got a crease. 50. 40. 30. He's going to go. It's Reeves. Oh, no way. Touchdown Rison. And they're a 2-point conversion away. The decision to make Fordyce re-kick pays off in the form of a 79-yard touchdown return. by the Reeves Collective, and this one is the Christian variety.
What other way, Josh? What other way? This craziness, pandemonium, all kinds of stuff going on in the back of the end zone with the celebrations, the Rison crowd going crazy. I mean, what other way would you have it in this type of environment, this type of game?
Now, there is tape in the back of the end zone that's been cut down. A bunch of the orange and white striped construction cones hold up that tape. It's been broken down. It's probably been broken down for a while now. But now you have to settle down, right, Kyle? It's a 2-point conversion coming here for Rison. They need to have it. 2:51 to go. Walker hands it off. It's Reeves. He's stuffed. Fordyce holds.
That Fordyce defense just coming through. Now, you saw Rison's side just going crazy. Now Fordyce, including the coaches and the sidelines, they're fired up. 2:51 remaining in the ball game.
It was a run to the left side, and the real star of the game has been the interior for that Fordyce defense. It holds once again. So with 2:51 to go, it's 30-28 in favor of the Redbugs. Wildcats, you'd assume here, are going to be onside kicking once again. Now, they can't stop the clock, so they could get the ball back, but if they did, there would not be much time left. So you really do have to get this onside kick. The last one Ramos had, not a great one.
Something to keep in mind, too, going back to players playing both ways. This isn't like a 6 or 7A game where the quarterback can sit with his offense on the sideline, try to think some things up. Kyson Walker is going to be out here playing defensive back.
Kyson Walker got burned in the last play. Look, man, it's like, it's hard to go both ways.
Yeah.
And they battle it out, but the Reeveses have been fantastic.
Absolutely.
And what a return and a great decision from, obviously, the coaching staff there to decide to re-kick. All right, here we go. Onside kick attempt upcoming. Ramos tees it up. He lets this one go. It bounces high in the air. It's caught. Fordyce has it. And that ball took a gigantic hop. But a great job by Xavier Jones of getting underneath it. So at 2:48 to go. And Kyle, this is where there's so much in this game you can go back and look at. We're talking about 2-point conversions, but the timeouts, the back-to-back timeouts, really rears its ugly head here for Rison. They're out of timeouts with 2:48 to play. And the passing game been effective tonight for Fordyce, but I don't know if you go back to the passing game again, right? Because you've got that clock to worry about.
Just try to play Rison's game and the game that Fordyce has been as they come out in the I formation once again.
Trying to do the math in my head to see what we're going to work out. We'll have to see here. Run to the right side. Now cutting it back again, and scooting and going down is Brenton Sledge. He got dangerously close to the sideline.
Yeah, Tremaine Turner there doing yeoman's work, just trying to get a few blocks. I know they didn't really get much of a gain, but Turner was doing everything in his power to spring his guy free.
That was a stretch play, and I think the point of that play might have been to waste some time. 25 seconds remain on the play clock. The game clock reads 2:18 and counting. They'll be able to take this thing under 2 if they wait all the way until 1. There is a game clock in the far left corner. Ellison's got it, hands on hips. I think they've got 2 timeouts remaining. Scoreboard doesn't show us. And so now Ellison's got it. 3 on the game clock. He snaps the ball. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Run up forward. It's going to go down to the 40-yard line. They need the 35 of Rison for a first down. And it's going to be actually stopped a lot shorter. I thought he got more yardage, but he didn't. So 1:43 to go in the game. Clock still running. Third down upcoming. We'll be able to take this thing inside of a minute here after this play. So you figure if they don't get a first down, they take it all the way down to 1 second on the game clock after this. All timeout. High formation with her. Third mate, still a chance to get that first down. Ellison, he's going to run forward. He's got a man on his leg, trying to gain some yardage. He's stopped at the 39 of Rison. Play clock begins and game clock. So the play clock reads 103, 102, 101. Currently, the play clock reads 25, 28, 27. So that's where you are right now. So they can take this thing down to about 31 seconds. We'll call a timeout then. And Rison not with the potent passing offense. You have to hope for a punt block. I have to sell out for a punt block if that's the way that.
And would we be shocked if they did block it, just with how this is
I would be shocked, but quite frankly, they shouldn't be. Timeout taken. 31.9 seconds remain in the game. It's a 2-point lead for the Redbugs of Fordyce. Both these teams looking to go 9-0. Kyle, this one did not disappoint.
Not at all. This has been the best game we've called all year. And I'll say it, Josh. This is my favorite stadium. You know, we keep an open mind with the job that we have. This is my favorite stadium to call games at. I'm a big Bear Bryant fan, so that's probably, even though he passed away 8 years before my time. But, I mean, this is just an incredible environment. And Rison's a great environment as well, regardless of where this one is played. And, you know, again, I want to pray. You know, every single game it seems like that there's chippiness in every game, but sometimes it gets a little bit out of control. These officials, these coaches, these players, they've done a fantastic job of keeping everything. I've said it a few times, but we don't praise that kind of stuff enough. They played a clean game, just physical every single play.
Yeah, I mean, even like the late hits, I didn't feel like anything was that
no.
good. It was more
and the officials are letting them play.
Yeah.
We love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, those late hits, you know, sometimes you got to make a point in football, you know, and I think everything's been very well officiated besides the false starts, which we'll try and get some clarity on eventually. The score is 30-28 right now. Fordyce leads Rison. So Ellison's going to come out under center. I guess they're not too worried, I think, about the offense for Rison and the way it operates. It's going to be a handoff left side. Can they ice it? They will. A first down gain for Brenton Sledge. And Fordyce is going to get to 9-0.
Tim Rogers is fired. That's the most fired up I've seen him since they won a state championship.
And it's been a state championship type atmosphere tonight at Paul Bear Bryant Stadium. And so the Fordyce Redbugs are going to get the job done.
And I'll go back to what I said earlier. Rison has regardless of who loses it, which we didn't know earlier, but Rison has nothing to hang its head about.
No.
They are still a state title contender. They might not have a conference championship quite in front of them anymore, but still got plenty ahead.
Ellison steps back, takes the knee, and that will do it. Penultimate week of the season. Gave us our best game. As the teams have meet at midfield in this rivalry, another excellent chapter. Our final score, Fordyce 30, Rison 28, and sole possession of first place belongs to the Fordyce Redbugs. We'll step aside here, we'll wrap things up for the Birch Street Community's high school football game of the week on the Buzz Radio Network.
Highway 270 Grill in Poen is a proud sponsor of the Buzz High School Game of the Week. At Highway 270 Grill, you'll find fresh food that's cooked and smoked on location. With an ever-evolving menu, they work to make sure they have the newest and most delicious food with the most affordable price. Newly renovated with more seating and upgraded equipment that allows them to serve even better quality food in a timely manner. Check out their daily specials or their steak nights every Friday and Saturday. Family owned and operated, Highway 270 Grill in Poen.
We understand that in times of loss, every detail matters. Hello, I'm Renata Jenkins-Fowler with Roller Funeral Homes. It is a privilege to be chosen as the best funeral homes in Arkansas year after year for 24 consecutive years because it signifies the faith and confidence placed in us by those we serve. We are continuously seeking to elevate our standards of excellence. Thank you for your trust. Roller Funeral Homes, where compassion meets excellence with all our respect.